just want the money!
Who made you judge and jury?
Well, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Now.
Yo, Daddy, I'll suck your big black dick for $2.
Man, you think I give a fuck about a motherfucking red light? Faggot cops can't touch me. I'm out here smoking weed, speeding, all that, dog. Fuck that. That's me. Untouchable.
Y'all niggas gonna pay for this shit. Locking this pimping in the closet.
How you sleeping at night, son? Like a baby.
Mr.O with the info.
This is an American Douchebag Productions.
What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? You go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, what's the word, man? I'm here with Mr. O. Salute to Mr. O, man. Let me on. What's good, bro?
Oh, not much, not much. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening. You know what I'm saying? But I go ahead and do something different. You know, usually I'll be just be on by my lonely, just talking about these simps, these 304s all over the space, all over the media, all everywhere in between. Just trying to be a good street journalist that I am, and a becoming stand-up comedian. But I also got to diversify my content. I got push different situations into the algorithm so my channel could blow up. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get up to that 1,000 subscriber count. 1 second, Mr. Kamasi. So while y'all coming in, make sure y'all brush off y'all shoulders. Make sure y'all subscribe to Cool Kamasi channel real quick. You a mod on my channel? You know, well, you can go ahead.
Let me I'm on my YouTube right now. I'm gonna type something in. Give me 1 second. Got you, bro.
All right. Because you go ahead, drop your link onto my channel, and you know what I'm saying, you can drop your link onto my link on your channel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me see how I got it. I'm gonna drop it right now. I already sent your link out. Let me do it my way. Yeah, I already sent the link out on the Discord. Hold on 1 second, I got you.
You know what? I might have to go ahead and talk to you about that because I got a Discord, but I really don't know how to use that thing. I had messed it up. Some reason I got all my content tied to another content creator Discord, and I might have to go ahead and just delete the original one I got and make a new one.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. No doubt. What you want, you be on, my nigga. You know.
Got you.
I'm just twisting up the fronto real quick. You heard? So.
Oh yeah, I'm already flamed up myself. I flamed up just myself.
Word.
Tonight's live stream podcast, whatever y'all want to call this beautiful thing over here at the Ozone. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see my chicks in the background, the one twerking in the corner, the one in the back shaking that thing. We are talking about generations. You know, in this space, this we got the machismo space over here, Cool Kamasi. The manosphere is the manosphere. You know, like the internet's the internet, the manosphere is the manosphere. We have the machismo space over here, you know what I'm saying? Courtesy of Machismo TV. Y'all will catch me later on tonight on Machismo TV. We're gonna be breaking down all the things that transpired this week in the media and in the country and in parts of the culture. The thing is, though, nobody ever asked this true question in the so-called red pill, manosphere space. I mean, technically I'm black pill, but, you know, I mess with the red pill guys. But the one thing we never asked or even came down to the conclusion as a people, you know, mainly us black Negroes and everything, but white people listening, especially the ones in Canada, for some reason, that's in my that's the main people in my algorithm on my analytics is people in Canada. People in Canada listen and watch my podcast more than so-called Negroes here in America. Go figure.
Hey, you international. We're gonna call you international O, you heard? So all money, good money.
Hey, that's cool with me. I've been trying to learn different languages, so that's gonna be cool with me. International O, that dude got a nice ring to it. I was trying to become Hollywood O too. So I'm about to become Hollywood O and international O. This pimp. Hold on, let me go ahead and play my my nigga Stack from Sinners real quick.
Y'all niggas gonna pay for this shit. Locking this pimping in the closet.
You hear me? Y'all's gonna pay for this shit trying to lock this pimping in the closet. What the talking about?
That's what it is.
See, we always talk. Go ahead, cool. Go ahead, introduce yourself to my life, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. No doubt, man. I've been on this space a few times, man. You know, rock with the Gulag gang. Me and Mr.O, man, yo, crazy. Me and him met on Little Big Nate's channel, bro. I remember you was coming on there. And I remember, I was like, this dude got it. Once you get that channel going, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I always catch him on the Hood Conservative panels, dropping that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that shit going. You know, when somebody come with that sim shit, he tests them real quick. So that's how I knew Mr.O. Mr.O been a homie for a long time. I'm thinking about since Little Big Nate was like 2021. So
yeah, 4 years.
You know what I mean? So I already know about Mr.O, man. So, you know, I do streams here and then. I might try to get on more once I get more time, bro. But I'm here right now. You heard? So salute everybody in the chat.
And salute to Little Big Nate, man. I miss brother, said shout out to Certain Size, Little Big Nate. Shout out to 411 Leon. If you out there watching the playback, salute to you, bro. Keep on doing what you're doing. I might bring you on to my show one of these days, Leon, if you watching it in the clouds.
Yeah, that's the homie there. I forgot about him too, man. There. Oh yeah, the old crew, man.
I got a long memory. Long memory. Yeah.
Salute
I
to
came
all.
into this space. I believe I came into this space off and on since like 2015. Now check me out. I had came into this space ironically listened to Obsidian and when he was doing Obsidian radio on here, and then for some reason the recommendations led me to Minister Jab. You know, I've been rocking with Minister Jab on and off for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So by the time the pandemic came around, oh, shout out to the Emperor. What's good, bro? What's good? Shout out to the Emperor. Yeah. So by 2020, I had basically this is my red pill, black pill wake up call or something like that. It was ironically Netflix. Netflix actually brought me here. And I started questioning society and everything. Then that's why I started questioning all the damn different generations. That's crazy. That one Netflix fiasco with cuties when they had and that nigga Elijah. Oh my god, that nigga hood server depending on a lot. But no, they basically promoted cuties and act like it was nothing wrong. That was his last show. Came back with me. That's when I was done with basically mainstream media, even Netflix. When they did that shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't even have a Netflix account to this day. I ain't going back either. You know what I'm saying? That's how thorough and have much integrity that I have. You know what I'm saying? Then I went down some rabbit holes. By 2020 came, I had stopped basically watching TV programming and got straight to YouTube. And guess who I find on YouTube? I find not only Obsidian, I find Mr. Jap and my boy Black Ram 313.
Shout out to Black Ram.
Shout out to Black
Ram. That is for real. Shout out to Black Ram.
And a Thinking Man's Templar. Shout out to a Thinking Man's Templar. And shout out to Grown Man Business. That's who actually brought. He told me like, "Yo, start a channel, Mr. O." That's who brought me here. Shout out to GMB, Grown Man Business.
Yeah, I caught up to GMB later on, man. When I heard him in Ramil, he a good brother, man. There's a lot of good brothers in this space, man.
Shout out to Ramil. Another one that brought me into the space. Oh, shout out and RIP to ARC. That me and him was actually good friends on Facebook for a very long time, but I didn't know he had a YouTube channel till years later, and then he passed away abruptly. You know what I'm saying? RIP to him. RIP to Kevin Samuels. He was in my Facebook group back in 2015, and I got receipts on that, but I never want to talk about that. I ain't gonna talk about the dead. You know what I'm saying? RIP to him. RIP to Sinful to P. Yeah, we go way back too. And shout out to Freeze is it. He's still doing this thing. Shout out to Freeze. Yeah, I go way back in this space with real true people. And even though I have a small channel, pretty much your favorite content creator been over here before.
Yes, sir. You see him in the chat. Shout out to Shaka Nulu. Is that Josh? That Josh up there, the Emperor.
Yeah, what up, Shaka?
Yeah, you
what
know,
up, Shaka?
Heavy hitters in the chat, bro.
Yep. So we talking about the generations and how we got here as far as people. I start with Black America. We start with me, just me. I know I'm using the Strauss and Howe method here. If y'all not familiar with the Strauss and Howe generational theory, we break up generations based off that particular chart. Let me see if I can go ahead and find a chart on that real quick. You know what I'm saying? See, the reason why I start with the missionary generation, because our favorite two people was born in that particular generation, in which we want to talk about the modern day plight of yesteryear, even modern times, Black people and how we should move. You know, should we go ahead? What's the thing we call a bootstrap bro, or should we go through higher education and become so-called a talented 10th? I just gave y'all a hint who I'm talking about. I just gave y'all a hint. See, the missionary generation, people born between I think it was 1859 to 1882. They have a very, very, very pattern. See, time goes in a circle. The people that was born that time period and fight in the Civil War, they was born through it. They seen the ramifications, grew up after it, and basically was the first true Black American citizens of the so-called country going through Reconstruction all up until the formation of the 20th century. I am talking about W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. They come from that generation. Ironically, if we are talking about, history repeats itself, the missionary generation is just like the baby boomers of today.
Go further into that, bro.
Oh yeah, I ain't got too much material on the missionary generation. Unfortunately, only thing I could use is only written material by Strauss and Howell called "Generations of America." And unfortunately, I can't find a PDF. I only listen to the audiobook version of it. But I highly recommend and suggest that y'all go ahead and look into the publications to get a more enriched outlook on how people actually change. Like. Circumstances change for each generation. Each generation go through their own certain circumstances. Like the missionary generation, they had to come up in America during a time period that slaves are now part of the citizen class, in which a lot of people didn't want that to happen. So they had came up with so many different codes, laws. And we had to go through that mess for a whole 20-some years. That shit affected their children, the lost generation. And the lost generation, I hate to say it, the lost generation is like the Gen X generation. They had the same similar patterns. I kind of told you that in the back chat before the stream began. With the turn of the century, the technological advances and the culture change around them.
Yes, sir. You definitely did, man.
And shout out to Gen X. I mean, I got my queeps of Gen X, but I don't hate them as much as I hate the boomers and millennials, though. And I am a millennial. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'll be on. Yes, now you gotta understand. I'm trying to not be a hateful person, but I'm on my Daniel Plainview now. When I be looking outside, I'm almost damn near. I'm knocking on almost 40. I'm about to be 39 this year, and all I've been seeing with millennial, I'm like, you mean tell me we had all this technology, all this opportunities, and you mean tell me we produced this bullshit? And that's how I be looking.
I hate most people. There are times when I look at people and I see nothing worth liking.
Bro.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. I'm gonna add this real quick. Gen X was like our big bros. Like on my block, where I grew up at, a lot of the big bros to me were the Gen X dudes. They was born in like the 70s and all that. They would be looking out for me. Versus the millennials, bro. Like if they gonna look out for you, it's gotta be some financial gain with it. That's why you got all these programs and stuff. Like you see a lot of millennials involved in these programs versus Gen X that was just doing it off the humble. So it's a different ideology, bro. Salute to A-Truism, man.
Oh, shout out Truism, yes, Stone Crow, bro. I felt your pain last night. I watched a little bit of that Dunk. And you know that's she a Gen Xer, bro. That's the Gen X, the older version of Gen X are the new literally grandmas. They the ones about to go into the old folks home. It's about to be a different type of function of reality going to the nearest senior citizen home in the next 5 to 10 years. Gone are the days you listen to the Eagles or some type of bullshit ass 1980s new wave music. We gonna be going to senior citizen homes, listening to NWA, Tupac, some SWV, Mary J. Blige, and everything from the 90s and the 2000s. Man, get the fuck up out of here.
That's the Quisha generation, bro. The Quisha generation is Gen X, bro. Them Gen X takes is Quisha, Shane Quisha, Sharkeisha. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, but how did they get them names? They got it from their boomer mamas who was trying to go ahead and be on some like I'm gonna give my baby a unique name, like some almost some exotic African stuff. Every generation causes all the next generation kind of problems. Let me go back to the missionary generation. The reason why I like to talk about the missionary generation, you know, and shout out to I think Susan B. Anthony came out of that generation. You know, that's a generation of the feminists.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all know what happened to them women from the progressive generation? You know, they're the ones that basically started all the cancel culture of that era. Y'all gotta understand, cancel culture ain't nothing new. They did a whole bunch of cancellation back in the late 1800s, going into the 20th century, bro. They was trying to prohibit alcohol, weed. They didn't want you to even be a so-called doing what's that what's the displays of affection in public, like holding hands and all that other bull crap, bro. And guess what? And because they was coming from the Victorian era, they was supposed to be so-called ladylike and all that bull crap. But guess what? And shout out to Iceberg Slim. He had let us know that was some bullshit even back then. They was like keeping everything on the hush on the outside. It was supposed to be all civil society. Behind closed door, they was doing all type of lascivious and debaucherous behavior that'll probably make a boomer blush. Yes, I'm just saying. Oh, man. Hey, look, them feminists from the missionary and progressive generations, you know what I'm saying? Progressive and missionary generations, of the yesteryear, majority of them end up in sanitariums. Y'all know what a sanitarium is, right?
Many poor clinics, man.
The funny farm, the crazy house. That's what we had before they started shutting them down in the 1980s. We usually send these type of individuals that show mass hysteria. Ironically, was where the word hysteria comes from. Yeah. So we ain't gotta go no further. I ain't trying to have no so-called feminazis coming on to this channel trying to go and shut it down. But anyway, every generation causes all type of problems, and everything going into a cycle. Let me go ahead and bring a particular video up. Speaking of Mr. Strauss, everything goes into a turning, and we in the fourth turning of this cycle real quick. You know, the thing they've been talking about for some years, strong men create what's that shit called? Strong men build good societies. Good societies create weak men. Weak men create weak societies. Whatever that shit is. Hold on.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So the weak men of that era was the so-called missionary generation. They consider a prophet generation. They are the baby boomers of today. They want to try to tell you, even though they ain't go through none of the stuff they talking about, they're gonna try to tell you how to live and prosper and move forward this country. But they're gonna be the leaders. They ain't gonna do nothing though. But they won't have all the credit. That's them. That's literally them right there in a nutshell. Let me go ahead and present this to the screen real quick. Let me get this up here. We're gonna break this up.
Make sure y'all subscribe to Mr.O channel. If you haven't, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? We dual streaming out here. So you can hit the like button on my joint too, B. Share the joint out. Appreciate it, y'all.
All right. Let's go ahead and hear from Mr. Strauss himself.
It's going to last until about the year 2030. So we're not quite halfway through yet. This journey is going to last until about the year 2030. So we're not quite halfway through yet. Well, this is all part of a pattern. And it's a pattern that's gone back centuries in Anglo-American history. I think it frankly characterizes the history of many countries around the world today. Like nature's four seasons, the cycles of history follow a natural rhythm or pattern. Over the last 5 centuries, Anglo-American society has entered a new era, a new turning every 2 decades or so. At the start of each turning, people change how they feel about themselves, the culture, the nation, and the future. Turnings come in cycles of 4. Each cycle spans the length of a long human life, roughly 80 to 100 years, or the unit of time the ancients called the saeculum. The first turning is called a high. This is an era when institutions are strong and individualism is weak. Society is confident about where it wants to go collectively, even if those outside the majoritarian center feel stifled by the conformity.
Let's pause right there. That first cycle, that's called a high. You know what was America's last high? Cool Kamasi.
I'm gonna say right around that greatest generation, but I could be wrong.
You was right. You right. Yep, the 1950s. You know that particular era, everybody wants to romanticize. But you heard what he said about when civility is high and individualism is low. So everybody's supposed to be, yay team, let's go America, let's go all these different groups and everything. No individuality. You know what I'm saying? We all supposed to be all for the civil and greater good. But who's against the so-called civil greater good for everybody?
I don't know, man. Let me know, Mr.O.
Boomers. Let's continue. Let's continue.
America's most recent first turning was the post-World War II American high, beginning in 1946 and ending with the assassination of John Kennedy in 1963. The second turning is an awakening. This is an
right here. This is what happens when you get your kids the best of the world without teaching them what will happen if you don't keep up the so-called good things for them. This is what happens. Let me play.
Era when institutions are attacked in the name of.
By chance, who are those people right there? Cool Kamasi.
They look like hippies to me.
Oh yeah, I mean they got a TP. They out in the woods. It look like they got a bonfire. They got on Native American apparel, even though they not Native. Well, depending on who you ask. I mean, context of words, but they not the so-called red men of yesteryear that was going through the plains and whatnot. They have their attire on though. I guess they're in peace with nature. But yeah, I think these are boomers. Yeah, them. Let's continue.
Personal and spiritual autonomy. Just when society is reaching its height.
Oh, look at the little baby. Look at the little baby Gen Xer right there. Just look at him all through the dirt, through the mud. You know, it's a Gen Xer right there.
You sure they got a stepdaddy right there? You see him on the left.
Oh yeah, yeah, walking away. Yeah. Basically, yeah, he has fun. He gave her a couple of hits off the bong and told her, you know what I'm saying, make sure you do what you got to do and everything. I see Junior about 20 years. Yeah, I gotta go do this van life. Gotta be on my rock band shit. I gotta do a whole bunch of cocaine. You know what I'm saying? It's the 70s. It's lit. Man,
yeah. Let's get another one coming out too. You see that belly right there?
Oh yeah. And that poor Gen X right there is high off cocaine. Probably gonna be a future crackhead in the making. You see how each generation messes up the next generation like that. Motherfucker probably still out here robbing people right now.
Tide of public progress, people suddenly tire of social discipline and want to recap
social discipline. You don't say. It looks like they having a big old party out there too. Oh, that's Woodstock. The biggest party of any kind of party, even bigger than Project fucking X. They still talk about this damn party to this damn day. But they'll tell us though that they're too wild, they too rowdy. Yeah. Yeah, let's continue.
A sense of inner authenticity. Young activists and spiritualists look back at the previous high as an.
What did I say? Hold on. The culture of poverty, crack babies, and welfare cheats. The making of the healthy white baby crisis. What do you feel from that particular article title right there, Mr. Kamasi?
Yeah, I mean, the crack babies had to come from somewhere, man. And people never talk about the heroin era of the 70s. That was the boomer time. That was a real boomer time. 70s was a wild time. So you went from the 60s with the hippies, now you're about to get to the 70s.
Look at the title of the article though, but tell me what's really wrong with that particular article title. Look closely.
It says the culture of poverty, but also below that it says the making of the healthy white baby crisis.
There we go. There we go. The culture of poverty, crack babies, and welfare cheats. Yeah, we know white folks be on the welfare more than others by a high number, but per capita, that's a Keisha thing. Crack babies is, I mean, I know Caucasians smoke crack. I sold them before, you know what I'm saying? Statute of limitations is over with. I sold crack to white people before. I know they smoke it. They smoked it right in front of me just to make sure it was some good shit. But I find it ironic that when Black Americans have the flu, it's only talked about when a white person has a cold, and it's their problem that makes the articles more seen. Wow. Even from a woman by the name of Anna Teresa Ortiz, that sounds like a Latina, but I just pick up things like that. It just stuck out to me that they want to talk about white issues from a Black problem. But Shaka Noodle said our things are more or less presented disproportionately. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Seeking my creator. What's up, bro? And Deacon Dave. I see y'all over there in chat. Shout out to Detroit 313. What's good, bro?
Shout out to the 313, man. Shout out, man. Cool people from the 313, man. Salute to them, man.
Oh yeah. Motown, baby. Man. I was born in the wrong fucking era, man. Just imagine walking around the Brewster Projects looking after all them fine shit. Let me go ahead. Press continue.
Era of cultural poverty. America's most recent awakening was the consciousness revolution, which spanned from the campus and inner city revolts.
Well, you see all that. I mean, all that so-called revolutionaries. Let's go back a little bit.
A sense of inner authenticity. Young activists and spiritualists look back at the previous high as an era of cultural poverty. America's most recent awakening.
They call it culture. No, hold on. They call it culture. All right, so that's the context of the word. They weren't talking about actual poverty itself. They was talking about not be able to express themselves. Like I'm me, the me generation. That was them, the boomers. They want to go ahead and keep up the so-called status quo, you know, the gold standard, keeping the factories over here, you know what I'm saying, manufacturing, because they was too good for that shit. They didn't want to work in the same factories and the same jobs that they daddy. They didn't want to go to war like they daddy. Yeah, they want like Muhammad. Well, Muhammad Ali didn't go to war, but they were scared to go to war. They were scared to go to war like Muhammad Ali.
Absolutely, man.
So
chat.
Yeah, I see him. So they want to go ahead and keep the gold standard to keep politics rolling for their country, only for them. I mean, it's one thing just to be like have only racist white folks and so-called disadvantaged Black folks here, but that was the only people that was here. Now the boomers want everybody over here, everybody and their mama over here. Shaka Noodle said, do y'all ever see how disproportionate it is that we're the only ones that's presented with going to get milk when it was the colored man who did it first? That's the real reason for Social Security cards, so they could find them fools. You don't say. See, and that's an honorary Gen Xer right there. That's big bro right there. Shout out to Shaka. Let's continue with these boomers, though.
Awakening was the consciousness revolution, which spanned from the campus and inner city revolts in the mid-1960s to the tax revolts of the early 1980s. The third turning is an unraveling. The mood of this era is in many ways the opposite of a high. Institutions are weak.
Here's our favorite generation before our generation. Here's Generation X right here. That this what I call give me the loot generation.
Shout out, that's a good one right there, man.
Yeah, stick them up, let's stick them up. Yeah, that's that generation right here, right here. They say F all y'all institutions. We see what you they give credit to the greatest generation. They give them some credit, but the boomers, man, they told the boomers out the gate, like, man, fuck you, y'all cool. No, they ain't say y'all was cool. They say, man, fuck all y'all. Man, we about to bum rush the show. We about to go ahead and take over. We about to go ahead and start our new thing. Yo, fuck y'all suits, fuck y'all corporations. You know what I'm saying? We about to go ahead and fuck up the world even real good with this thing called crack. Yeah, and I even though I believe Boomer started the rap game, the hip hop game, it was the Gen Xer that magnified it. You know what I'm saying? Molded it. Well, what Bang say in Dark Knight? They molded it, shaped it.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
To say wish that now hip hop rap culture, Gen X basically a Gen X invention, the MTV generation, that's the most dominant culture to dominate any other culture around the globe. Hell, you have even Asian dudes right now in China with some grills in their mouth, with some locks in their head, with 6 foes on rims and shit like that, trying to talk like Chief Keef.
That's a fact, man. Plus, you got a lot of innovation. So you got Steve Jobs. You got so many innovators from Gen X that came out of it.
Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk,
running things right now. You know what I mean? So they might not be on the presidential side, but everything else they running. Gen X is running it.
Yep. Yeah, so they got their own set of problems. I mean, they basically are smaller numbers, but it's not to them. It's they so-called boomer so-called would-be parents if they didn't do the mass baby deletions. Another boomer function, you know, by 1973. That was basically it. They destroyed the whole entire black population. And by the time Gen X came around, they had to deal with a whole slew of things. They had to worry about post-industrialization. You know, all the trade jobs was gone, all the manufacturing jobs was gone. Then they had to worry about the rise of the HIV, the package. You know what I'm saying, was on the rise. Teenage pregnancy. You remember that particular video that everybody uses now when they had that white man, I think it was Phil Donahue, and he went to New Jersey and he asked them chicks in the classroom or whatnot that will be soon to be mothers, already single mothers, would you marry your child's father if you would ask to get married?
You said no. Yeah, I remember that joint. Yeah, you know what's
crazy, you know that was a Gen X.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of Gen X chicks, they baby fathers was boomers. That's what nobody else talks about either, because you know them old heads was busting them down back in the day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
them down, you know, you live in the neighborhood, you know what's up, man. You see it, you know.
Hey, yo, that's another thing too. So if we add that element to it, so teenage pregnancy was not just a Gen X thing too, like you said, it was a boomer thing too. So imagine a teenage boomer giving birth to a Gen Xer, and you know how they got the welfare game. You know what I'm saying? They, years later, give birth to a millennial. Think about how that affects the child raising element. See, I'm a millennial, but I had a Gen X sister, night and day. night and day. I was helicopter parent by my parents. Well, my sister got basically was like as long as you in the house by the street lights is on, which she never was. Yeah. So imagine a Gen Xer giving birth to a millennial. That was the thing in the 90s. A lot of teenage pregnancies, they was giving birth to late millennials and early Gen Zers.
That's a fact.
And
That's a fact, man.
so you can see the different parenting styles of some millennials. You can see the ones that was birthed by boomers and ones that was birthed by Gen Xers.
Yeah, man, because millennials spread out. You got solid Gen X parents sometimes, or solid generation parents. You might have them. The majority got booming parents, man. And you got the other side that's Gen X exclusive, like, because that teenage pregnancy, like you said, man. It's that's why it's like hard to pin millennials on one. That's to me, but I could be wrong.
So yeah, you the one that said it's like 3 different millennials, and I kind of agree with you now. Start seeing like I don't know if I consider an older millennial or a middle millennial. If we see that 1981 and that 82 factor is kind of messing up things, because they used to say that Gen X was from 1965 to 1981.
Yeah.
Which would kind of make sense, you know what I'm saying? Since if we are millennials, we will been basically the adults on the turn of the century. So being an adult by 1982, you graduated in the year 2000. So it would make sense having 1982 to 1996 being the cohort year for millennials. But now they want to incorporate the 1981 year and make Gen X from 1965 to 1980, which kind of still makes sense, but I don't know.
That's why it's easy to just say, kids born in the 70s, kids born in the 80s, and in the 90s, because it's like 80 babies is a whole different class than the 90 babies, man. Like, and then the 70s babies, they like the big bros. So that's a whole different class right there. And then you get the 60s, those will be like our uncles.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them be your pops. Then you go to the 50s, 40s,
Mm-hmm.
It all depends, because the decades do tell a lot too.
Yeah, different times, different circumstances. See, like some boomers that we attribute to like having such a mass wealth or being privileged and being spoiled. Some of them then actually was. I'm not trying to let them off the hook though. I'll keep my foot on their neck for the rest of my life. To the last Gen X, to the last boomer take their last breath and 2080. You know what I'm saying? I will keep my foot on their neck. So, but some of them grew up through some messed up things. Like they grew up through the gas prices situation. There was no gas in the late 70s. I forgot all about that. You know what I'm saying? They had all these big ass engines and they couldn't get no gas. Gas prices was messed up. They was going through a recession back then too. You know what I'm saying? Because they had just got off the gold standard and all the inflation and stuff that we still dealing with right now to this day from that particular oil crisis back then. Yeah. Everything correlates together. But let me continue with this video.
It is trusted while individualism is strong and flourishing. Highs follow crises, which teach the lesson that society must coalesce and build. Unravelings follow awakenings, which teach the lesson that society must atomize and enjoy. America's most recent unraveling was the long boom in culture wars beginning in the early 1980s and probably ending in 2008. The era opened with triumphant morning in America individualism and drifted toward a pervasive distrust of institutions and leaders, an edgy popular culture, and the splitting of national consensus into competing values camps, red and blue. And finally, we enter the fourth turning, which is a crisis. This is an era in which America's institutional life is torn down and rebuilt from the ground up, always in response to a perceived threat to the nation's very survival. Civic authority revives, cultural expression finds a community purpose, and people begin to locate themselves as members of a larger group. In every instance, fourth turnings have eventually become new founding moments in America's history, refreshing and redefining the national identity. Currently, this period began in 2008 with the global financial crisis and the deepening of the war on terror, and will extend to around 2030.
So if you're a millennial, and shout out to us, I guess, some of you late Gen Xers too. We basically been born to a war, into a world when the shit just ain't never went right for us from the get go. Ever since 9/11. Ever since 9/11, if you was basically a young adult or in high school or even grade school, 9/11 and everything that transpired with the so-called war on terrorism, the Iraq war, war of Afghanistan, the economic so-called boom and recession in the late 2000s that basically we still ain't recovered from now. You know what I'm saying? Probably possibly going to a Great Depression in a few years. Yeah. We pattern everything from the greatest generation all even to a T, even spoiling our goddamn children, the Gen Z and Gen Alphas, and which we are, and possibly soon Generation Beta.
Yo, that's crazy. They're gonna have a generation called Generation Beta. That's gonna be crazy.
I don't know it's gonna be beta. I don't know it's gonna be beta. I hope it ain't gonna be beta, but still, that would be messed up. Like damn. Because I hate to tell you, Gen Alpha, they might be the new boomers. Yeah, we might be raising the new boomers. But let me continue with this real quick.
So what does all this say about our future? Well, in our paradigm, America has entered the fourth turning. What can we say about fourth turnings? Each turning lasts around 22 years. So this turning is going to last until about the year 2030. So we're not quite halfway through yet. Now, this is the winter of history. It's a time of creative destruction of public institutions. We're going to radically change ultimately when we get out the other end of this thing, our politics, our economics, our sense of what we need in terms of public infrastructure in our lives. And very much of that is going to be shaped by the values and aspirations of the.
I don't like how it just shifted that when he was talking all about shifting, things changing, and they got this damn needle on the screen. What they trying to imply?
There's about to be some meta-humans out here. The bots about to be in your body.
Oh, I like that Static Shotgun reference. That's so millennial of you. So this nigga said meta-humans. Yeah, these new breed of transhumanism. I hope it don't happen. I pray that shit don't happen in my lifetime. I swear I didn't want to be around for the damn end of the world, especially as an old man. If I'm wanted to go out, I wanted to go out in this pristine young working. At least I could fight. I don't want to be an old crippled man and be like, hey, oh, the end. Oh, fuck. Let me continue.
Rising millennial generation. What do we know of the morphology of these turnings? Well, it starts with the catalyst. And of course, the catalyst was like 1929, it was 2008, a sudden shock to our system. Say, okay, we're in a new place.
See, like I said, the greatest generation had to go through the Great Depression. We had to go through the Great Recession. That's why, I believe us millennials are a lot stronger than a lot of people try to make us out not to be. Yeah, we get labeled as y'all weak. Y'all want to go ahead and keep up the status quo of a modern America and way the boomers had set up things. You know what I'm saying? With our greed and our so-called deplorable behavior. How dare y'all?
Yeah, that's a fact, man. And I think that when you compare it to the boomers, man, like here's the thing. Because it was more homogenous back then for them versus today, you got Indians, you got a whole bunch of Africans, you got Latino people, everything's out here now. It's a different world than it was back then for them. You know what I'm saying? You got Indian dudes with CDLs now, making U-turns and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a whole different world now, man.
Hey, did you hear about that? All right, so, with that situation, right? with the dude with the dude with the U-turn, right? Did you know he had read over 3 Haitians pedestrians? That was the 3 people that died.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was like a battle for citizenship right there. They both lost.
Bro.
Oh, shit.
Hey, yeah, so the boomers caused globalization, mass immigration, because they didn't want to go ahead and do the so-called slave. Y'all want those jobs? You want to work? You want to work in a factory? Yeah, because that's consistent work. Instead of going to try and find a corporate office job with so-called no skills and minimal skills, and which yeah, your job done and replaced by AI. Martian Coon say, I'm sorry, but 1980s, 1990s generation are just built differently. I'm going for my class A by the end of the year. Shout out to you. And I currently have a CDL class B, and I drive a school bus. Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
God bless you, bro. That job is not easy, bro. You're dealing with children, bro. That job is not easy, bro.
Yeah, and these disrespectful little crumb crushers of today.
Oh yeah.
Man. Seeking my creator. Seeking my creator wrote millennials are the most undermined, bro, because we got boom. See, people like, man, everybody be like, man, why you so angry? Why you so mean?
I hate most people. There are times when I look at people and I see nothing worth liking.
You guys got fat while everybody starved on the street. It's my turn.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why. They got fat while everybody else starved on the goddamn streets. Still eating, getting bad big guts and everything. Trying to put shame on my heart, talking about, well, why don't you just do better? Just grab yourself up by your bootstraps. I mean, you got the internet, you got all these different avenues. What's the problem? Well, Mr. Boomer, unbeknownst to me, I need a credit score to have all those so-called nice luxuries that you have. Prior to 1989, when credit scores and everything wasn't around, you was able to get a fucking house in Olympia Fields or Hoffman Estates. Them kind of some like good suburbs here in the state of Illinois. If you don't know about them. You was able to get one so-called luxurious suburban houses back in the day, even back in the 80s, for a nice bungalow house in them particular suburbs for $50K without no credit check or anything like that, and have you while you was working as somewhat of what TBS report having documenting sitting out a damn cubicle doing asshole. Back in the 80s, or if you was doing some type of labor job, like you could actually be a VCR repairman. You could be a VCR repairman back in the late 80s, early 90s, make a good living in the damn Olympia Fields, Hoffman Estate, making $40-some an hour back in them days. You get a brand new fucking car off the lot for under $10K.
Yeah, they had the nice cars back then. The boomers had like the Audis and the Benzes back in the 80s days, man. The joints was classic. You know what I mean?
Now, the same type of lifestyle that you trying to tell me that I'm supposed to be able to go. Oh, and then even better, their contribution to the Social Security portion. They ain't had to worry about all these other additional taxes that we had to deal with as millennials. All these taxations that we are now 45% taxed as a single bachelor here in America versus 30% back then. No, because of the welfare state and all, we got to take care of the Keishas and everybody in Section 8 and whatnot. So we got to get heavily taxed, aka the bachelor tax now. That's basically a bachelor tax. You gonna take care of these crumb crushers one way or the other. Because so many boomer men decided to go get some damn cigarettes and some half a pint of Parmesan and decide fuck nuclear families, or vice versa. Keisha, the boomer Keisha mom, the little Gen X Keisha daughter, and basically left his black ass and wouldn't go into the projects and taught her how to go finesse the system for the next 3 generations to come. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember the story about Isaiah Thomas, man? Because you from Chicago. He said his mom and pops put together, man, but like, yo, his pops had to leave the house when she was around so they could get the benefits.
Yep. He West Side. Oh yeah. Oh yo, bro. Claude, the movie Claudine showed y'all. That particular see, even back then, the black people was trying to hustle this the government, hustle the system. I mean, shout out to them though. They were trying to do it, but y'all basically was trying to get back at the man, and until y'all actually let the man take over. Like y'all was trying to go ahead and get all them little gimme dads, you know what I'm saying? That's when you hear about stories about black men be having their clothes in their trunk of their car, you know what I'm saying? Already, just in case a social worker already be trying to do a pop-up thing, so they can creep out through the back door and already have their clothes and whatnot, and go stay at the hotel or probably go to their side chick house with a weekend. That's another thing too that we want to experience as probably even as Gen X and millennials. The thorough side chick, the one that kept the hush. The second family is over with. Damn boomers. Let me continue with the damn video.
Now, we're not in Kansas anymore. We have a whole new sense of where we need to go as a nation. We suddenly shocked out of our third turning individualism, celebrity circuses, and whatever we thought about back then. Things are going to be different now. Families are suddenly aware that they're not going to do as well as their parents. That we're
boomers. Y'all the only generation to do better than your parents and your children, and don't give a damn.
See that our role in the world maybe is not what we expected. That's the first thing, and that's already happened. The other 3 phases of the fourth turning haven't happened yet. One, which will soon happen, is what we call the regeneracy. This is when distrust reaches its low point and we suddenly begin to coalesce around something, some leader, some movement we began to feel positive about as a fulcrum, as some point at which we can begin to find increasing trust in someone who can piece together institutions that can make sense again. Additional.
Is that Trump? Is that possibly Trump?
How so?
I mean, he has basically for negative and positive reasons brought the country back together again in some type of form. Even though we still battling each other on philosophy and ideologies, America is basically worried about America again.
Yeah, that's true. I think also though, because me and you was around that time, that 9/11 time, everybody was together. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Even before that, like you go to a lot of, like you said, MTV generation, Gen X.
Yep.
They was together. You know what I'm saying? Towards the end, because you know by that time you mentioned hip hop. Like by that time, hip hop had taken over, so everybody's at hip hop events doing everything else, man. So yeah, shout out to Seeking My Creative, man. He said, wasn't there a civil rights lawsuit that stops them from excluding fathers from the home, but they still place BWs in battered women's shelters that don't allow men in at all? That's crazy. That's fucked up.
Hey, that's real. All on your tax dollars. So yeah, you are not only contributing to the fact that, and that's the reason why everybody be like, yo, how come we got all these different things, but crime has got worse? You got cameras everywhere. You got cameras on police. You got cameras in convenience store, cameras on the corner, but you still got high crimes and murders and all things going out here. Because if you stop all these catastrophes that's happening around you, a lot of people won't get paid. So your misery is another person's profit.
shocks to our system, either in terms of economic, financial, or geopolitical shocks, are on the table. This is what happens in a fourth turning, because at this moment of great vulnerability, we're going to hit further points at which we realize we are unprepared for the future. A lot of the assumptions we're making actually aren't going to pan out. We need to retool our institutions in a much more fundamental way than we've seen thus far. That's exactly what happened in the 1930s, where we kind of ratcheted down our expectations and retooled things in a bigger and bigger way than FDR ever thought going in 1932 that he would ever have to do. That's where we're going to go. And that's going to lead to what we call the crisis. That's the third point in a fourth turning, when suddenly things get worse and worse, but we're beginning to match it with greater and greater civic effort. We're rebuilding our civic life to match this greater and greater sense of crisis. Then we reach the crisis and pass it, and then that leaves the final act in a fourth turning, and that's what we call the resolution.
The resolution. What's going to be the resolution to all this mess, though? What is going to be the resolution?
The resolution will be the same thing they did for the to get to the greatest generation, man. Just in a modern way.
I'm kind of like a little in fear. I usually don't get scared as much, but I'm a little bit more in fear because that was the height of the industrial age when they had their so-called high, in which it was on the beginning of decline. We are in a mix of the technological zenith age, at which we have all these different technocrats and so-called oligarchies that's trying to come up. Possible going from a constitutional republic with them with a democracy, and possibly into a neo-feudal type of situation going into the future. What say you on that?
I can see that happening, man. I can see that. Kind of like a civil war then, because you say neo-feudal. So kind of like internally, because like, there's an online civil war going on right now, There's a little online, little factions going at each other, man. You got the Twitter crowd versus the Reddit crowd. You got like the Manosphere here, like right now. They probably going at it one time or another, you know what I mean? Like Sharon Bracey. Like Sharon, I don't know how Sharon is, man, but like, he's like the, whenever he come on, he's like the heel. Because he's gonna take that one side and just stick with it.
I was just watching before we started this broadcast. I was and I hate that I had to subscribe. I hate that I had to subscribe to the nigga channel to comment into the damn broadcast with him and Izzy Bands a few hours ago. But yeah, see, I'm gonna have to do a show, break down one of his streams, because this simping, this fence-sitting behavior is to our detriment as Black men going forward. I mean, yes, you can have your own philosophy. Yes, you can have your own idea, but ideas and philosophies are good for a time period where it can actually benefit set people. How's that been doing for us, still being the so-called good men of the community that you want to be the simps of America? How well is that doing for you when relationships, especially when the boomers pass away, with the marriage rate, it's not going to be looking a whole bunch of good. So how can you sell something that's not really around or even happening no more?
That's a good point, man. That's a good point. Because I don't know, sometimes I don't know where he's coming from with it. So like when I hear him, like, man, it's just whatever side the guys is on, he's gonna take the opposite side. That's what I'm like right now with it.
Man, see, I came up with the term competition bias. Like, black man, go ahead, be the biggest players. Y'all won't go ahead and say like, that's why y'all ain't getting. I'm like, look, if all the black women is available and they like a particular archetype, why not just go ahead and clean up? Why do you need somebody to go ahead and I mean, if they all easy, they only going for a certain type of guy, and a lot of us don't fit that supposedly aesthetic or makeup. Why do y'all need dudes to compete with if it's already an open market, an easy market? Hell, a lot of dudes actually wouldn't go and got their passports and start dating now. So, Thuggo, the trick artists, the scammers, all the black women offer y'all amongst yourselves. Why y'all want the good guy to compete with y'all? Well, nobody answered that question. All these hymns out here, Just go ahead, just be him. Y'all all him. Enjoy it. What y'all get tired of dealing with the same black women after a while? That's what the problem is.
That's crazy. Let me ask you though, what generation you think has the most sip qualities? Overtly sip qualities, like overt.
I have to give that to the silent generation.
Ooh, also.
The good thing about culture, we have things of old record to display about said culture. You know, everything, especially after the 20th century, has this thing called recordings and documentations. Look at the literature from beginning of the 20th century, basically the 1900s, and towards the end of said century of the 1900s into 99. We had two genres of music rise in the early part of the 1900s called blues and jazz. Listen to some of them blues records, listen to some of them lyrics. Them niggas was talking about no good, downtrodden, cheating ass women and all that good stuff. The women was talking about these no good ass niggas back in them days too. And we talking about the blues records. Hell, I say like this. You take a modern day rapper and an old past blues artist from that era, you can't separate the two.
That's crazy.
Some old blues records you could actually play over a drill song, and you be like, "Damn, that motherfucker hard. Who he?"
That's crazy. Like BB King and all that, man.
I'll see BB King. He from the silent generation, but this is the guy. So this is the kicker. The silent generation, they start singing to the chicks. They was the doo wop. Again, silent generation was the doo wop generation. They was the ones singing under the light post, something about ooh, baby, baby. See, all that simping started with that Motown sound. That's silent generation. That oh baby, 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 please, baby, 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 please. You can listen to all the songs from the 1950s and 60s. Things start changing in the 70s. That's when the simping started going up a notch. By the 80s, with Boomer Babyface, it was over with.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact, man. And then the Boomers, they had the black exploitation, man. So you had that going on too, man.
Again, that's why they call silent. That's why they call silent. Velvet Van Peebles, father of Mario Van Peebles. You know what I'm saying? He was silent generation. He came out with the first black exploitation film, Sweetback's Revenge, I think in 1969 or 1970, funded by Bill Cosby. Little known fact.
That's crazy.
I'm a researcher, bro. I try to go ahead and be very, very thorough. See, I'm more of a I cover the part that nobody will talk about. I go back to the entertainment era of yesteryear. See, I'm an entertainment head, movie buff, reader of all fine literature. I listen to all genres of music from different eras and ages. That's the reason I could actually break down some of these lyrics from back then. The Lost Generation, I think the Lost Generation had a lasting impact on all generations because of criminality. Because everybody wanted to be a gangster.
Who are the famous gangsters from the Lost Generation era that people might know?
The Mafia itself.
That's
Lucky Luciano, Al Capone, Bugs Moran. Who else was on? All of them from that generation. All of them. The popular, the bootleggers and all of them. And then you got some early World War II generations, the antebellum generation. You probably won't call them the ones that ain't get a chance to fight in World War II because they was too old, but they was with the Lost Generation motherfuckers in the 1930s with them bank robbers like John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, all them.
Yeah, Don Zilla, they definitely remember,
And the reason being that all this is goes back to the money. See, the 1913 election, or I think it was a re-election of Woodrow fucking Wilson, the guy that created the Federal Reserve, basically destroyed the economy right there, that transplanted into the so-called Great Depression. So, and he's from the missionary generation, aka the pre-boomer generation. He thought it was a good idea to go ahead and basically consolidate all America's funds to the so-called foreign reserve, that they could just go ahead and just print money, and they can't back it up with a natural resource, and then come in with the damn I hate to say it though, Nixon is a World War II generation person. I think he's a vet too. He took us off the gold standard. So the greatest generation did have a folly. They had one folly. That was their folly right there.
That's crazy. You know what I found out about the boomers we talked about earlier? Them being the least breastfed, one of the least breastfed generations.
I was going straight to that.
Let's go.
I was going straight to that. I was going. Let's go and finish this particular video, and we're gonna go straight to that. I got everything queued up.
It's when the treaties are signed, the negotiations are made. All of the civic cement, which was wet during the fourth turning, suddenly dries. And then we suddenly have a post-crisis order, which hopefully would endure a beneficial and working post-crisis order. We hopefully will endure for the next 2 or 3 turnings after that. The final point I want to make is this, is that people talk about fourth turnings, and I've been quoted in the media this way, that they're just bad, they're apocalyptic, they're horrible for all of us. I just want to make the point that fourth turnings are actually necessary, just like winter is necessary. Winter kills everything off so that new things can grow. And just as forests need fires, rivers need floods, so does society need events which clean out the debris, which clean out everything that's sclerotic and ossified that no longer functions, something which tilts the whole playing field of power and wealth from the old back to the young. This is what fourth turnings do. They renew us. Fourth turnings are the price we must pay for a new golden age. History has shown this time after time, and we're about to see it again in what I expect to be a really interesting and fascinating period in our history with which we can truly be all engaged.
In a nutshell, he basically said we got to get rid of the boomers. That last part, the last minute and a half, where he just said, he basically said you gotta get rid of the boomers. And which we got we gotta explain how we got here, like you said before, with the breastfeeding situation. Like, I did not know this. Thank you for giving me this information about Similac. I did not know that Similac was created in 1925. That was crazy. So you got all these lazy ass mothers that basically poison their kids for, like, what's that, 6 generations? Damn. Y'all trust the science, though. Y'all trust the science. Let's look at this particular article that Cool Kamasi has sent me. Okay. It says, oh, wait, let me read the title. Let me see what the article. Older generations then breastfeed. Why not? I have read a few posts and comments in this group that breastfeeding wasn't very common with our mother's generation. Does anyone know why? I'm breastfeeding my baby. Is that a female? Wait, what? What them letters stand for? Cool Kamasi. I hope my eyes don't deceive me. Does that say FTM?
What that mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. We just gonna continue.
I don't know what this shit crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that part alone. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna continue anyway. I enjoy doing it. I think it's easier than FF, whatever it means. It's better for the baby and it's free food. So I don't understand why you wouldn't want to at least try. Maybe these people can't speak. Damn it. But let's go ahead and see what she's talking about.
Oh shit. Marcia cool, man. That's crazy. So shit, she a carpet muncher then. Yeah, the carpet munchers be having kids like crazy, man.
Yeah.
I think they conservative talk about that, man.
Oh yeah. We've been talking about that for the last couple of months, man. Fucking with hood. It says, thank you for posting this article. I don't see no article though. I thought it was gonna be an article though. It just had a.
Let me see if I can find one for you real quick.
So I'm getting some comments.
I know I'm seeing you right here. That's right. This one right here. Let's see this about. Send it to you.
Yeah, we come back.
I'm put it in the back chat. Yeah, that's right now.
We'll come back to this article. Let's go to the other one that's tied to it. How the Western world almost stopped breastfeeding. Let's go to that article.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's go to that one. Let me go to that share screen. Let's get it. Written by Yvette O'Dowd. How the Western world almost stopped breastfeeding. It is hard to think of any other natural human behavior which has come as close to extinction as breastfeeding did in the 20th century. Although commercial infant foods were developed in the late 1800s and were being promoted prior to the First World War, it was after the second global conflict, so basically World War II, when their use became a widespread that it led to a recognized decline in breastfeeding. Unless you a woman on IG with a newborn that want to go ahead and do the right thing and breastfeed, but you want to go ahead and post it and let the whole world see for the attention. But I digress. Let's look at this. Oh, carnation.
That's crazy. They do that on IG, bro.
All for the attention. Carnation formula for happy feeding. Yeah, I forgot all about carnation. I seen this particular can Ironically, and for some reason, women would get the carnation can, and even when a baby stopped needing it, they'd be using it for their cakes and shit like that. That's
Yeah,
crazy,
you ain't got no milk. You throw some water on that joint, some cereal, man.
bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm from the hood. Yeah, yeah. We did that shit. We did that shit. Boom. The post-war baby boom, of course. The post-war baby boom of 1945 to 1963 saw a steady decrease in breastfeeding. So again, can we again blame the greatest generation and the silent generation? Can we blame them for the boomers? Finally. Because along with this and putting fluoride into the water, I think we have the first generation of perpetual teenagers with gray hair. Let's continue. But it was when those early baby boomers began having their own children in the 1960s and 70s that numbers plummeted to the lowest level in human history. In 1971, just 21% of babies in the U.S. were breastfed at birth. Similar numbers were seen in Australia, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand, as well as other westernized countries. Interesting chart. Mothers fully breastfeeding at 3 and 6 months. Victoria, I guess it's Victoria, Australia. I think that's it. So 1950 to 1992. And each decade it went decline. It was a big dip, but then it started rising again.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy, man. You see that? So around like 1975, really around maybe like 73, 72, start going back up.
Like right here. It started rising back up to 1990. 92, what his article says. So the almost towards the end of the millennial generation's birthing cycle. Interesting. So along with us, now that's a very different thing too. So think about some of these 80s babies and early 90s babies and millennials, being born with this Similac carnation milk, fluoride in the water, high fructose corn syrup, and extra sugar into the diet. Some of us being sufferers from boomer behavior like alcoholism and drug habits. So some of these mothers might have gave these kids like fetal alcohol syndrome and probably possibly crack babies and stuff like that. And don't forget about the cigarette smoking. A lot of 2-pack a day smoking women was pregnant as well. So how did that really affect millennials? Damn, we survived a whole lot of shit. Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But then Gen X, they got them heroin babies, man. So it's like pick your poison, man. It's like both sides of that coin, that Gen X millennial coin, man, is fucked up, man.
Ironically, we the only ones walking around with common sense in this country now. Go figure.
Hey, man,
Violence
come with age, man.
What do y'all think of Nick Fuentes and his message to Black people? I didn't see any lies in it. I don't see no particular. It was a whole bunch of bullshit, but I ain't see. If you was an outsider like Nick Fuentes is, of course you would come up to that assessment. But we gotta understand the source. Nick Fuentes is a somewhat Mexican that wants to be white. He has an identity crisis amongst himself. So how can you take someone to have an identity crisis trying to criticize somebody's culture seriously? And he's a fellow Chicagoan. It's a very big city, but it's not very small. Oh shit, what Cool go? We're gonna wait till Cool Kamasi come back up. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. He'll come back up. But yeah, he's a fellow Chicagoan, so I heard. I don't know if he's probably in a suburb. You know, a lot of people claim the city of Chicago, but they be coming from the Chicagoland area. You know, the surrounding suburbs and stuff like that. So he might be one in them safe suburbs, but it's still a small place. And if I get a chance to meet Mr. Fuentes, I just want to ask him a couple of questions. That's all. Hopefully, be no security around him. Yeah. I didn't want to say that, but yeah. That's what. Yeah. Female. Yeah. That explains the 60-year and 70-year crowd. Yep. Yes, sir. Laughing dog. Yep. No mama milk. Yep. You back. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back, Cool. You back.
Trying to knock me out real quick, but I'm back on.
Martian Coon. I like that name, Martian Coon. That doesn't detract from his observations, though. I'm black and I don't like being. I don't like. Hold on. I feel your same similar passions too, sir. I even have this right here. And RP to Charlie Murphy. Paper Soda is one of my favorite movies, but I start feeling like him in this particular movie right here.
Hell, all you want to do is shoot him. Motherfucking right. Fuck niggas. Hey, look. What you need to realize is that there's a difference between a black man and a black nigga. That was a black nigga.
What the hell are you talking about?
That's what I'm here for. Take a nigga out. Johnson!
I swear. I swear. Before we continue, I gotta go ahead and do some studio business real quick, just in case, you know what I'm saying. Since everybody's here, I just want to ask y'all a quick question.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
If so, can y'all please do me a quick favor?
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to choose to donate, you can sock it to my pocket at Cash App, $MISTRO070. And you can hit my email if you want to go ahead and support the content.
Don't you want your donuts right? Oh, hey, don't you ever fuck with me, boy. Do you know me now? I'm a bad man.
And don't forget, again, this is
an American Douchebag Productions.
Just a reminder. But yes, Martian Coon, I do feel your yeah, I feel your same passion. I do love my black people, but it's you niggas. Yeah, you niggas. Let's continue reading this. Let me continue reading. The increase in formula feeding led to the ripple effect, still impacting families today. Of course. And it's not what you might expect. The art of breastfeeding was almost extinguished, even as breastfeeding advocacy and support turned a corner in the 1970s and 80s. A generation of mothers A generation of mothers and midwives had, damn, man, I missed it. A generation of midwives had lost the knowledge and experience of how breastfeeding and lactation works. The wisdom and skills handed down through the ages, from mother to daughter, midwife to apprentice, experienced nurse to the novice, have been interrupted from understanding the early days when a baby and breast gently transition from womb to world to the very basics of achieving a painless and effective joining of mouth and nipple. That sounds so poetic. It was almost lost and completely. Only through the passionate efforts of the few was breastfeeding rescued from the brink. It sounds like an exaggeration, but the data supports the reality. Having first influenced the so-called first world and effectively exhausted the potential market there. The formula industry simply turned to the developing world and started over. Vulnerable people in Africa, India, South America, and Asia were directly targeted with marketing to replicate the model proven so effective. It's the same people that are taking our jobs now here in America. Yeah, it's very effective.
They're getting that Similac too, man.
For the brainwashing and program, so it could be good little work mules like we used to be. I forgot about the MKO. You know, the boomers was the first generation to be raised by basically mass televised television media. So they was programmed from the start, even with the little MK Ultra and all that stuff to go ahead and program their minds. That's why they all think they still Disney kids, even in they damn twilight years of 70, 80 years old.
Yeah. I feel them too, bro. Gotta get that passport.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Following the wave. Oh wait. Engage an influential medical community and get them to market the products to the community for you. Ergo, they end up becoming the best marketeers and advertisers to their own children. Basically, putting them on all type of products because it was advertised. They did as advertised. Dumb folks. Following the wave of formula feeding in the Western world, other parts of the global community were soon leaving behind their breastfeeding wisdom and turning to formula, not because breastfeeding had rapidly declined in viability, but because infant formula was marketed as a better option. I didn't even get a chance to even read that part, and I always jump the gun. My mind just works like that. That's crazy. Once again, the loss of skills and knowledge had a flow on effect, which is still evident today. However far, this damn mouse ain't working. However far we fell down the rabbit hole, it was thankfully not beyond a point of retrieval. Where efforts to limit marketing of breast milk substitutes were successful and breastfeeding re-education practices were put in place for professionals and parents, breastfeeding rates reversed the downward trend. Southern Natural Parenting Network in Norway, 99% of mothers initiate breastfeeding. At 3 months, 90% are breastfeeding. At 6 months, 75% are breastfeeding. At 12 months, basically a year, 40% are breastfeeding. In 1970, breastfeeding rates in Norway were as low as those in Britain today. Then Norway banned all advertising of artificial formula milk completely. They offer a year's maternity leave on 80% of pay and on the mother's return to work, an hour's breastfeeding break every day. I wonder. Another thing. With all these things that happen to the boomers and everything, like we forgot about the lead paint. Remember lead paint in households, and some people, they was eating lead chip paint. So you got the chip paint, fluoride in the water. What else? It was going around there too. All the drugs they was doing, but after the fact, the shrooms, the PCP, the ads, the marijuana. You know what I'm saying? The good grass from back in the day, and they favorite. You know what I'm saying? The cocaine.
Cocaine was something else, man. That 80s sound. That's that. The boomers with the cocaine and crack, man.
Yeah, the cocaine. Yes, cocaine. I might do a show and see which one actually did the most damage and made the most profit though. Was it the heroin deal or the cocaine deal or the crack deal? That's 3 different eras right there. But who made the most money? But that's gonna be another one for another topic. Let me see what Martian Coon said. I'm sorry, bro, but I'm at the point. My end goal is to get me to the point where I can get a second passport, like Serbian or Russian, and move to somewhere in Siberia where it's devoid of negos. I hate to tell you this, Martian Coon. No matter if you go anywhere on the 4 corners of the earth, you gonna have to. You'll always have to deal with the so-called this.
No reason to fuck shit up. That's why we drink Hennessy. That's why we smoke menthols. That's why we niggas. We likes to ruin shit.
Now, all 4 corners of the earth. All 4 corners of the earth. And people tell me I shouldn't take some things personal. Like
nothing's personal. What the fuck is life if it's not personal?
Yeah, what the fuck is it? Life is not personal. I mean, I'm a different breed. I'm a different breed. That's why a lot of them simp ass niggas be like, dang man, why you be taking things so personally and everything? Like, nigga, this is life. I want to get one of these motherfuckers. Y'all trying to make me into a motherfucking slave, man. Fuck y'all. Of course I'm gonna take this shit personally. Breastfeeding should not be a vulnerable to marketing of infant formula anywhere. Yet, while white middle-class Western women, key word, they talking about the awfuls. You know what an awful is, right?
We know what it is, bro.
Oh, it's just your typical A, affluent, W, white, U, urban, feminist, F, liberal, L, awful. It's the awfuls. Yet, while white, middle-class Western women are more likely to establish and maintain breastfeeding, social economic factors influence the choices and circumstances of vulnerable families globally. We need to work together as a worldwide community to protect, promote, and support breastfeeding for everyone. Yeah, good luck with that, Yvette. Oh my, look at Yvette. That's why I say always check your source. Damn it, I can why did I just do that? What did I just do that? I ain't try to do that. But let me see if I could blow up Miss Yvette's space real quick. Hold on, real 1 second. I want to can y'all hold on.
She looking chopped as shit, bro.
Old as shit. Yeah. I'm trying to look at her nose. That's what I'm trying to get a good look at for. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to look at her nose because the nose never lies. Hold on. Stop. I ain't trying to get. Stop. Goddamn. Let me go ahead. Right there. Let me blow that up. Where's she at? Let's copy that shit. Take my damn laptop. This damn mouse poking that shit. There we go. There she look. There we go. Right there. She got. It appears that Miss O'Dodd has that particular nose of a particular people that has a particular hat, particular small hat. If you catch my drift. I don't know. Yeah, it kind of
like them bagels, man.
Yes. Good bagels, by the way, with good cream cheese. Yes, I do. Yeah, I think she's a connoisseur as well. Yes. Always check the source. All right. I guess we're done with that one. And now let's talk about Gen X. Let's go over talk about our big brothers real quick. Let's talk about our big brothers real quick. Let me go ahead and bring that to the screen because they the new bosses. They supposed to be ones in charge now, right? They supposed to be running things until we can take their place, right? Let's see how they run the things. Most execs are now Gen X. What does that mean? And look who they got on the screen. My man with the boombox, John Cusack. I forgot from that one movie. They were simps too. Don't get it twisted. They had their son simping ways too. You know, the R&B, the Jodeci era. I know we was talking about the doo-wop era of the civil rights and / silent generation. But yeah, and the simping of the boomers. The boomers was some good simps too. Babyface wrote a lot of simping ass music for other people, even for Gen Xers. You know what I'm saying? But Gen Xers, the Boys to Men, Gen X, Jodeci, Gen X. You know, Drew Hill. I forgot about Drew Hill, Gen X.
Yeah, Backstreet Boys. You got Instinct. You go down the list, man.
Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jagged Edge. They the ones took the cake. Then they made a whole song talking about, man, let's get married. Oh my god.
I love Cool J.
Gen X. Oh yeah. Yeah. I forgot about. Oh yeah, Ja Rule. Man, Gen X. I met Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, man, these chicks was all over Ja Rule. I'm looking like, damn, this nigga like 5'5" and 5'6". This nigga getting all the chicks and everything. And I'm like, man, I'm like, damn, it's really the money. I'm like, damn, y'all, if y'all really talk about he gotta be 6 feet tall, he gotta be, I'm like, man, I was around Ja Rule. 5'6", probably 5'7" at the most. I was around Kevin Hart before, bro. I'm 6'2.5". I then felt crook in my neck because I got to look down to look him in the eye to talk to Kevin Hart. But he get more bitches than me. I ain't gonna lie, he get more bitches than me. He got the money. So and that's why I say from that black people, at the end of the day, it's the money, young. It's the money. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with these damn chicks. But let's see what. Remember, Obama removed the Smith-Monk Act, which prohibited Americans being subjected to affairs. Yeah, using propaganda. Yeah. Thank you, Martian Coon. Yes, he did. Basically, President Obama basically allowed propaganda to be put into play, and that's how you get CNN, MSNBC, all the people basically reading the same script at the same time, trying to go ahead.
Let me ask you, bro. Who you think is the boomer's favorite president? Obama or Clinton?
Clinton.
Over Obama?
I know it's a very close one. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very close. You know what I'm saying? They both smoke bud. One said that he in hell. But both of them like black women. Both of them like to be on TV. You know what I'm saying? One like to go ahead and wear shades and play the saxophone though, so he had a little more soul than the one that Belly he was trying to do a two-step with his wife, but he had no damn rhythm. And I mean, yeah, man, everybody's still sucking on Clinton dick versus Obama dick, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah, man, it's Clinton.
That's true. Clinton still have the legacy, man. Like Obama's legacy is, it's hard to tell what it'll be, man. He's definitely fading out.
And don't get it twisted. See, a lot of people did even back in the 90s and 2000s, they didn't think there was going to ever be a solid generation president ever in American history. And we ended up getting one. But guess who it ended up being? Mr. Biden himself. That was the only president. And what kind of presidency did we have with his so-called 4 years? And we was going, we was either going to get now what was the bitch name? Kamala Harris, a boomer, and Trump, he's a boomer, but he's not really your typical boomer. He a different type of boomer. He one of he ain't the hippie boomers that we was dealt with between Clinton and Obama. He's one of them the Wall Street Gordon Gekko inspired type of boomers, the one that was in really the Wall Street.
That's fact.
See, don't get it twisted. You had the hippie class of boomers, and you had the Michael P. Keaton's off of Family Ties type of boomers. The yuppies. You had the hippies and the yuppies. That's what I meant to say. That's what you get, the greed part of Gen X for the yuppie culture, the slacker hippie lackluster. We can't have it both ways. We can't say that they was shiftless and greedy at the same time. Well, yeah, we can't. Damn, we can't. Never mind. We can't. Even their own parents said they was lazy and greedy. As they kids, us millennials, we say they lazy and greedy. Like literally, I remember specifically not getting a job at a McDonald's because they gave it to a dude. I was like 15, 16, and this dude was 40.
Damn.
And having be the damn owner's cousin, another boomer. Yeah, man,
yeah. That's one thing nobody thought about. Boomers do be holding them jobs for like mad years,
Bro, and look, this is the hypocritical part of so-called baby boomers. These are the so-called boomers that told your asses to go to college, first for the experience. Then they say like any degree is a good degree, and they'll tell like what you want to do. You want to end up working at McDonald's, and look what happened. Hey, Bob. You used to work at corporate America. What you doing here at McDonald's, man? Well, I'm on a fixed income. The markets weren't really good. My pension didn't really pay out as much as I thought, and yeah, I'm here at McDonald's. I'm a manager. You know what I'm saying? I just can't go above that because I'm on a fixed income. Yeah, them. Even better, our so-called teachers in elementary school and high school used to talk about people in the trades and even people working for the city, like the garbage man. You know, the boomer teachers trying to tell you, like, what you want to end up as a garbage man. The garbage man actually makes more than a damn teacher does. Gets a better pension than the teacher does. Can retire early than a teacher can. But the only thing they cared about was that 3-month break, but not messing with other people's kids instead of raising their own. You gotta love that shit. You gotta love that shit. But let's continue reading. Let's shout out to our new bosses, this brother the industry now. Let's shout out to Gen X. But what does Gen X mean? Gen X, the generation sandwich between boomers and millennials, may not get a lot of attention. I don't understand why, because I hate to say it, like y'all really with this hip hop culture. See, y'all don't understand. Hip hop culture really had changed the world. It really, y'all really had done that. I mean, we won't wear suits no more like that. Everybody walk around with casual wear. We got vernacular, got style, got particular risk. Everything come from hip hop culture. And like I said, they trying to criticize how we dress today as millennials and Gen X's, but I'm like, y'all Gen Zers, y'all the biggest followers of any type of group. Y'all don't even rebel. Y'all ain't coming with no new genre of music, no new style. Y'all trying to rock around with the same style that we was rocking around in the 2000s. And trying to say, like, man, we trying to dress like us young folks. Negro, I'm wearing Nikes that I was wearing back in 2004, before you was born. Y'all sound like one of the old men. I'm sounding like one of the old men now.
Man, it's all good, man. You make it on life, man. You gotta talk your shit, bro. You know what I mean? That's what things look, man. They don't want us to like be old, man. Enjoy life, man. Like,
well, you know, if you watch Boys in the Hood, like I watch Boys in the Hood, the opening scene of Boys in the Hood says that that 70, what it said about 60-some% of black men won't make it to the age of 21. So you telling us millennial boys watching Boys in the Hood that we was not gonna make it past the age of 21. I was 5 years old when that movie came out. Watching in theaters. Fuck my head up. Grow up in the 90s in Chicago. It's some of the worst hood. Oh yeah. It could have happened. It could have happened. I'm glad to be at the old age of 30, almost 39 years old. I'm glad to be at this almost old age. Yeah, I call it old because I wasn't supposed to be here. But let's continue. What does Gen X mean? Gen X, the generation sandwich between boomers and millennials, may not get a lot of attention, but they currently comprise 30% of the workforce and, get this, hold a majority of leadership roles globally. That makes the Gen X statistically significant in the workplace and worthy of attention. Well. Dang, what my mouse ain't working? Shit. I got the wrong thing on my damn mouse, but it ain't working. This motherfucker must be broken. All right. One minute. Well, all right. The New York Times points out that the average age of incoming CEOs is around 54 squarely in the Gen X age bracket. It's Gen X moment, that generation most known for being out crowded out of sweeping cultural age analysis by millennials on one end and boomers on the other. It queeps. As Fortune puts it, reality no longer bites for the leaders of the country's biggest firms. There are currently 267 Fortune 500 CEOs who could have been held in detention as the Breakfast Club. The CEO magazine reports that, yeah, that's crazy. I love the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Bender. The CEO magazine reports that in 2022, the average age of incumbent CEOs fell dramatically. Remember the great C-suite exodus at the tail end of the Great Resignation? The publication goes on to claim that the number of those under 50 leading S&P 500 companies more than doubled to 30%. It appears then the forgotten generation, aka the sandwich generation, aka the slackers, are in charge. I mean, you remember that movie Office Space? You ever seen that movie Office Space?
Yeah. You know, that's one of my favorite movies to watch.
You know, they were Gen Xers.
Yeah, they were.
and the old guy, what was his name? I need you to go ahead and work this weekend and fill out them TBS reports. Yeah. He was a boomer.
Oh yeah.
And you see how he basically said, "Man, fuck this, I'm gone." And his buddies that follow. Oh, you remember that last dude that was in the basement?
Yeah, he set him on fire and all that.
That was, look, boomer culture. They was the postal workers. They're the ones that went postal.
Mm-hmm.
You see the how culture basically tells you everything that you need to know right there in films.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
That was it was on the tip of my tongue. Oh, Half Baked. That's another good one. Now look, Half Baked that's another movie that has basically has aged well. They were Gen Xers. And we live in that time period now. Guys gotta get by living together and doing odd jobs and everything because they want to go ahead and chill and smoke weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lived in the city, that's probably the main thing in life, you know.
Oh yeah.
Your suburbs, you're gonna be living together, you know.
Yep. Gen X aren't slackers. Yeah, all right. Gen X's aren't slackers, fair or not. Every generation bears certain stereotypes. What does Gen X mean? Gen X's persona of being pessimistic, apathetic, maybe unjust as they come. Zeddy found that Gen X leaders feel they have better work ethic, are more independent, entrepreneurial, and are even more digitally connected than all other workplace generation. I could agree. I could actually agree. I even call them pioneers in some aspects of the internet, and which, you know what I'm saying, they took this thing called the internet and made all these different avenues and industries and keep on thriving and growing. I could actually give them credit on that.
That's true.
If it wasn't for Gen X, a lot of things would have been gone downhill a little bit more quicker than we expected. And throw us older millennials or to like mid millennials, we did some things too to keep this thing afloat because we had to work them so-called service jobs that nobody wants, apparently. 2 or 3 of them at a time just to keep up living a lifestyle with inflation.
That's a fact, bro. But 2000s coming in, man. Price everything going up, like you said.
2008 changed my life. I looked at how everything and nothing ever came down ever since. We used to have this thing called dollar menu at McDonald's. For $5 every day, I could get a whole entire meal and live off that shit while doing 2 jobs. Trying to go ahead and maintain a apartment that was $600 damn dollars. I can't even live that lifestyle no more. That same apartment that I was paying $600 damn dollars for. That's how much that apartment costs now.
Gotta be at least 2 G's right now. Chicago?
Close to it. Yeah. Yeah, but this thing about it, I was paying $500, $600 damn dollars and somewhat close into the hood.
Mm-hmm.
So it became in 17 years it became the hood, and they want $1,200 close to $1,300 damn dollars for that same apartment I was paying $600 damn dollars for 17 years ago, and pretty much ain't nothing changed in that apartment.
That's crazy.
And even then I was working even then I was working a minimum wage job and doing a hustle. Now I gotta work 2 jobs, do a hustle, and probably gotta do this YouTube shit and hopefully get paid. Just go ahead and maintain the same lifestyle that I'm accustomed to.
Yeah, more people working more jobs than ever, man.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? Instacart, you know, they got the Instacart going, they got the DoorDash, you know, people got different types of things going on, man.
Which it ain't nothing but a good scam in itself, trying to get you onto being part of this new neo-feudal system that I mentioned before.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's definitely crazy. Definitely crazy. Well, man, my bad. Let's continue reading. Indeed goes further, reminding us that Gen X grew up with minimal adult supervision. So did I. As a millennial, I grew up with minimal supervision after a certain age. You know what I'm saying? So I could be basically honorary in that part. Quickly learning the value of independence and work-life balance. Here go that work-life balance bullshit. Work-life balance. There also appreciate informality, are technologically adept, flexible, and highly educated. Many are as idealistic about work as millennials and Gen Z are. Maybe many Gen X's really are as pragmatic and skeptical as they come, but that doesn't mean the generation hasn't sought out meaningful work just like everyone else. Zeddy's research shows that yes, even 71% of Gen X's feel doing meaningful work is more rewarding than earning a lot of money, as an impressive 86% view sense of purpose as their 2 professional priority. I'm in it for the money. Fuck y'all wish y'all want to be on some kumbaya. Let's go and do this bullshit. Y'all in the boomers basically making us millennials gonna be basically pushing down to further poverty because y'all want to go and do the right thing.
Hey.
But don't you feel better helping these people? Like, well, how helping these people come in and take my damn future job away from me and my future little brothers and sons and daughters away from me, away from us? How that make me feel that I had watched Bill Clinton do the NAFTA Act as a 3rd grader and coming out of high school and wondering where the fucking jobs are at? All because y'all voted, all because y'all boomers and Gen X's want to go ahead and stick it to the government and go ahead and say, man, yeah, we want all the gimme that's now. Fuck the kids. And which is the millennials now talking about how come they don't want to work no more? How come nobody want to go get a job? How come nobody want to go ahead and gotta have a master's degree for entry level spreadsheet data analyst? Why? For $19.50 an hour. Why?
No. And the rent is going up, G. The rent is like 2 G's a month, 3 G's a month in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
People spend a $5,000 rent check, bro.
And that just rent. Now, if you are traveling in said cities, because I mean that's pretty much in like medium to large big cities. You know what I'm saying? All the way from Charlotte all the way to as big as New York. Yeah, you're gonna have to be a very frequent car transporter. So you got car insurance, car maintenance. Yeah, just in case somebody want to go ahead and hit your shit, your rates go up, car notes go up, and the cars ain't really shit either. Also medical.
Mm-hmm.
So that $5,000 we think we just paying for rent and everything, that's just part of the lifestyle. We actually paying $7,000 for our lifestyle.
Mm.
And I ain't even talking about eating the food, groceries.
Mm-hmm. You on the Uber Eats, DoorDash type of tip, you spending bread.
Hey, I hate to tell you, you're gonna spend that amount of bread even when you go to the grocery store. You might not even get the same amount of portions that you used to having. So what's the difference?
That's a fact, bro. Gotta go on them discounts, Save-A-Lots. Gotta go to the Save-A-Lots.
even then, your best option is probably gonna have to go to Walmart. They more cheaper than Aldi's now. Certain locations like Ohio, Walmart is cheaper than Aldi's.
Ohio was crazy. That's the first time I saw mad fat people was Ohio, bro. I ain't gonna go shout out to Ohio, bro. They was eating good out there.
Oh yeah, that's why. That's why I call the Midwest the second South. You're gonna find a whole bunch of thickums up here because we only allow like about 90 days of actual outside activities, you know what I'm saying, to actually burn off some of this weight. Other than that, we only outside for a few hours and gotta get inside because it's too damn cold.
Yeah, they say y'all got something called a Chicago jacket, bro. That joint's only made for Chicago. I heard that. I was like, damn.
You gotta understand, we get most of our cold air coming from the East Coast and Canada. When we smack right there in the middle.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a few years back, we had that vortex that was the coldest night in history with negative 46 degrees.
Yo, man, you ain't got no heat in your house, bro.
Hey, you don't remember? That's the same night that Jussie Smollett said that some white dudes with a noose and some bleach did a racial heinous attack towards him. That was the same night.
Yo, that's yo. I remember that joint, man.
Hey, if nobody remembers, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Oh yeah, that's a fact, bro. He's been out the spotlight ever since then.
They gave him back some acting jobs. They try to redeem him. You know, he's connected to Miss Kamala Harris, so he'll forever have some type of landing spot going forward in the future. You know what I'm saying? That's something that Democrats do. They do help out their so-called co-conspirators. I mean, they people.
Yeah, that's true.
At some level, people are people. They want to have meaningful work. They want to have real connections with their co-workers and their managers. They want what they're doing to have a broader purpose. Here go that hippie fucking slacker bullshit. They want to be fairly compensated. Now you're talking. That's what most important for everyone at McKinsey, partner Brian Hancock. I ain't gonna lie, I used to have a thing for what Winona Ryder. I don't know, maybe I don't know. It was some.
She definitely get it, bro. She definitely get it. She look nice, man.
A lot of people have said that she used to look weird looking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she got older for sure. She got older.
But they are, yep. But they are fighting a post-pandemic detachment challenge. All this being DDI's 2023 Global Leadership Forecast uncovered an ugly truth about Gen X dominant CEO cohort post-pandemic in the workplace. A woeful detachment between leadership and the workforce. While most CEOs express high levels of confidence in their ability to foster an inclusive and culture, here we go with that inclusive bullshit, inclusive culture, only 24% of frontline managers say that inclusion is a strong part of the organization's culture. Similarly, while most CEOs claim to be well equipped to prevent burnout, only 27% of leadership say their organization is committed to employee well-being. Who the fuck wrote this damn article? Shit.
It's a little big as a chick, bro. You know they be writing a whole lot, saying nothing, bro.
Yeah, I ain't about to read all this what's the name either, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and break down some other. I think we're done with that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and talk about us millennials.
Let's do it.
Let's go ahead and break down some of these videos. I know in a couple of hours I will be on Machismo TV. I will be up for that. Make sure y'all tune into Machismo TV a little bit later. But let's go ahead and talk about us millennials. Millennials. Let me go ahead and bring this up to the presentation real quick. And we just got to talking about old Neil Howe real quick. You know what I'm saying? We just got to talking about him. Let's go and see what else he got to say.
There's been a lot of media coverage of studies showing that millennials are under a great deal of stress. I mean, this is a generation, raised to be special. Their parents told them they could be all that they want to be, and Xers blame them for being a teacup generation.
Okay.
They have these high expectations, not a lot of experience with setbacks.
Yeah, of course. Well, let me rewind that just a little bit back. Hold on.
You got G.
Special. Their parents told them they could be all that they want to be, and Xers blame them for being a teacup generation.
I find that ironic. They want to blame us because our parents want to be helicopter parents because they felt they got to spoil us or give us things because they was fucked up parents. And now when they did that, now they talking about, I did this for you. I did all that for you. Yeah, but you still fucked up my credit because you used my damn name, mama.
That's a fact. That's a lot of kids, man. K-Bill being their name, 5 years old.
Hey, but hey, them was the same kids on the playground talking about, oh man, you over there rocking them pro wings, so you ain't got none of these, Mr. O. Or what, little O, I gotta go. Little Mr. O, you ain't got these on, you got the pro wings on, you ain't got these J's on. And 20 years later, like, what you mean I can't get along for a house? What you mean I had what's the name bills and everything took out my name in 1995, 1996. I was 4. Type shit. Man.
just shatter under stress or anything, because they have such high expectations, and they've never really been thrown around much in an earlier age. So they have these high expectations, not a lot of experience with setbacks.
Bullshit. We had to deal with a whole bunch of setbacks. What the fuck are you talking about? Haven't been tested. Shit. Try be a black millennial in the inner city in the late 90s going to the late 2000s. I'll wait. And not just in Chicago, St. Louis, New York, LA. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's just crazy, bro. A lot of them based it on because like the boomers, like I don't know, because the boomers is right after World War, so it's not like they was facing any setbacks either. And Gen X, you know, they was during the whole Cold War, so that anything could have popped off around that time. But millennials was really 9/11. You know, some of us was kids in the Gulf War. Some of us were kids at that time. You know, early 90s, like. You know,
I was born in '86. I saw the Gulf War, bro.
Yeah. So like, you know, the whole .com bubble that affected both Gen X and millennials. So it was like,
the Y2K incident, yeah, all that.
So, but I don't know if they basing it. See, I don't know if he's basing it on the 90s babies that grew up like 2000s. I don't know. That's what sometimes get confusing. Like they'll throw people like me and you. I'm born 83. You born 86. They'll throw us with the Gen X's. They say we millennials and all
that. Exennials. That's what they be trying to call us. You know what I'm saying? I was born the year of crack. That's why I tell motherfucker I'm the beginning of the crack era. So you know what I'm saying? I was born in the 80s.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man.
Hell, some of the first school shooters was millennials and high number mass shooters. If I say that, you know what I'm saying, they've been having school shooters ever since forever. But a lot of like the Columbine kids, if we're gonna include that 81 number, they say that that's millennial. They kick that shit off. So yeah, ever since. But yeah, let's continue, man, because this kind of pisses me off. Like they trying to say that we had it all that good, but no, it was just that y'all was such bad parents that, you know what I'm saying, we couldn't do no bad. I wonder why millennial women, why? Well, how you get how y'all fall off just off 1% though? How? All this education, all this technology, digital natives. You know, that's what they call us millennials. Also, we did digital natives.
Yeah, I think social media made the millennial woman lazy, bro. Because I think that's the difference between Gen X and millennial woman. It's like Gen X, you know, they kind of grew up before that came out, so it was a whole different time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we were still going outside though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we were still like you said, you were born 83, so me, you were both going outside in early and mid 2000s.
But you remember a lot of chicks back then were staying home. They would never be outside. If you look somewhat decent, your pops was keeping you in the house if you had one, but your mom was keeping you in the house. You know what I mean? Like the boys would be outside regardless.
Man, they still found a way to do whole shit though, man. I ain't trying to hear that. I seen that.
Especially when they get to teenage years, man.
Man, yeah. As soon as they about to go, yeah. But as soon as they go into the late high school and early college years, it's a wrap.
Oh, they're already seasoned.
Tell me about it.
They veteran status, you know, journeyman.
I think the most serious negative aspects of the report are clear indicators of greater stress.
Now I did say this. Now they talking about good wages though. That was some bullshit. But I did say this kind of the after and back effect. You know what I'm saying? Because Gen X, even though they was low in birthing numbers because of baby boomers doing a mass baby deletion beginning in 1973 or even to the mid 80s. So we had like that so-called echo boom. That's why us millennials are called echo boomers.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up replenishing the current state of numbers with the early teenage pregnancies, in which they became the so-called PSA generation for us millennials. You know, with the teenage with the Dare. Remember Dare?
Yeah, the drug commercials with the eggs on it.
Yeah, it was because of Gen X. You know, since they had all that supervision and everything, they was properly supervising all that good stuff. They're so rebellious. They didn't want the same thing that happened to us millennials. That's why they were so helicoptering parenting. You know, saying they was the reason why they had the so-called commercials. We probably a little bit too young, but it happened in our era a little bit. You know, sometimes 90s TV will show some 70s and 80s commercials by accident. You know what I'm saying? During the time period, I start seeing old ads from like the mid 80s and early 90s talking about it's 10 p.m. Have you seen your kids? I'm like, damn, what?
That's local news right there, B. Local news. Every big city got a local news like that.
Hey, I could remember. I think all even until like I think I was in the 3rd grade. I can distinctly remember the kids on the milk cartons.
Oh yeah, definitely. They had that. They took that away for a while back. In school, when you drink the milk cartons, will be there. You see a kid's face, that try to freak you out,
Bro. Yeah, them was the days. So y'all basically put all this fear into millennial boys' minds, you know, and then you had the feminist indoctrination with all the female-led staff teachers and low what's the name of males, especially masculine teachers in the school system. Got all these feminized males teaching along with the feminists. So you program the boys to be so-called open-minded and weak into the detriment of society. So they then some of millennial boys and men, you know what I'm saying, they want to go ahead and become teenage fathers. They want to be guilt tripping being teenage fathers. You corrupting these girls and whatnot. Then you had them not want to be part of the so-called growing gang culture because, you know, gangs, boomers who invented current state of modern gang culture, and Gen X who perfected it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't want the millennial boys to be so-called gangsters and stuff like that. So we took on a more open-minded type of approach. We didn't want to go ahead and become teenage fathers. We want to become more educated. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff to the point now y'all asking us almost 40-some-year-old millennial men, how come you ain't married and got no degree and all that stuff? Y'all told us not to.
Hey, Mr.O, let me ask you, you from the land, bro. How was the gang culture like compared to like Gen X and millennials? Each one, how were they like, man? Coming from you, you know, you from the land, you in the trenches for real, man. You know better than anybody.
All right, so the gang culture. So yeah, I'm straight from the Western, the street I grew up on. I technically grew up like 2 blocks away from where Larry Hoover used to live there. So this how it is. The boomers started. So this is the thing about Chicago. It's always been a gangster city. You always had your little cliques and gangs and whatnot, dating back to even the late 1890s. when we think about the modern organized crime here in the city, we go back to like the 1920. I mean that's I mean I can't even say the 1920s no more, because that's basically different time period, ancient legend, a lot of stuff that you want to do like Al Capone, all the rest of them did, you can't get away with. So I want to go ahead and with modern times, modern culture, modern gang culture here in the city. It began like around 1969. So 1969, the Boomers, the gang leaders here in the city, the Larry Hoovers, King Davis, I mean David Barksdale, you know, that's who King David is. David Barksdale, the Walter Weeds, these all Boomers, by the way. Jeff Fords, Willie Lloyds, and everybody in between. And we had one solid generation gangster causing a lot of damage too around the time, by the name of Fluky Stokes. So we still had a mobster walking around here, you know what I'm saying, with some old school ways. But as far as current gang culture though, as concerned though, different generation had different type of poisons. Like the Boomers were more organized, well-read, and they started, you know what I'm saying, you had to know your shit, you know what I'm saying, it was more organized. Like they had like actual order, structure, literature that you had to know, like basically being in a military type of format. They were trying to do it in a corporate setting though. Gen X, they basically want to take it back to the throwback of the mob on type of style, like shoot first and ask questions later. They was on some cowboys and robbers and shoot 'em up, bang bang type of shit. They became basically disorganized in the aftermath. Millennial gangbangers such as myself, they came in after the fact, especially in Chicago after the books was closed in 1996. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us didn't get the lid. Some of us did, some of us didn't. A lot of us didn't have no structure. A lot of the gang leaders started getting locked up, and basically we just took on the name, but not actually with the organization. So we all became cliques. So you'll have a circumstance when you have a so-called gang with the same name, but they own clique, and they'll go ahead and have rival beefs with each other. Same way with Crips and Bloods. You'll have Crip on Crip violence and shit like that. Gen Z.
Everybody remembers, because Chicago and the millennials, the ones that got popping, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody know the Chief Keefs, Dirks, you know what I mean? All them cats, bro. Rico Reckless. You know what I mean? Like, they legends out here, you know.
All of them from England.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. All of them from my section. Dirk grew up around the corner from me. That's my homie. That's the Brody. And King Von, Fredro said, see all the OTF 300, you know what I'm saying? That's my people, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, I'm really in the trenches, but that's on a different sidebar. But with millennials though, right here, see, they trying to say that we had it real good, but two things cannot be right. How y'all say that we have all this advancement, we got all this education, but the majority of us wasn't taught shit? Yeah, we were most educated, but what was really taught? We was indoctrinated, not educated. You see it now.
Yeah, I think we was taught a lot of stuff that doesn't apply now. Like, if technology never advanced that much, we would have been all right. But since technology advanced, there was a time we wasn't taught like AI, IoT, all these things. You know what I mean? We had to learn that on our own. The chat GPT comes in.
Yep. Let's go ahead and finish on this video. Let's go and wrap this up.
With that increasing success comes anxiety. whole importance of the issue of having kids puts more stress on women.
Hold on. What?
The whole importance of the issue of having kids puts more stress on women.
What kind of stress? What kind of stress they what the self-inflicted stress that they ask for? Sign of success. Millennial women are free to choose exactly which life goals to pursue without guilt. And they try to make it our fault. That's what I'm trying to understand. So their success is our fault in the end. They can do all this free what's the name, but when they don't get the same what's the word I'm looking for? The same outcome they think they getting from like they doing for men, that they go ahead and say that it's men's fault. They doing all this stuff without no guilt. They say that they doing all this without guilt. You see right here on the screen.
Yeah. And then earlier it said that they was doing worse than the boomers and the Gen Xers.
Oh, and they be trying to act like they you see these Gen Xers that be on TikTok and now on YouTube acting like they so demure. They was so hostile. They're like, y'all do know that we got video evidence of y'all, like you said, with Freaknik. Y'all do know that we got all these videotapes and DVDs, especially a particular sector that y'all kind of jealous now. You got chicks now like Cherokee and all them coming from the videotape DVD going to the OnlyFans sector. That's a 4 generations of technology and advancements that these whores had taken advantage of in the last 40 some years.
Mm-hmm.
Getting paid to be a high class prostitute, and y'all still blame. So y'all blame men for y'all sexual objectification. Start about boomer women. Y'all talk about y'all didn't want to be sexually objectified. Yeah, y'all was outside brawlers burning y'all bras in fire.
Mm.
Gen X is y'all the most freakiest, debaucherous generation that ever walked the planet. Again, y'all was the ones that really started the hookup culture. Y'all was always trying to sleep with each other's man. Y'all dudes is always trying to sleep with somebody else's girl. So that's why we got the disease factor even up today.
But you know what though? Because we mentioned silent generation and those generations before, man. They had their problems too with syphilis and all that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just that the game advanced by that time.
I believe the biggest thing that the silent generation has to worry about, because even then, I believe they the ones that contributed to the HIV/AIDS factor. Because you gotta understand, they have this thing called bathhouses in very big parts of every city, and a whole bunch of YMCA's. A lot of men will frequent them bathhouses. You know what? Went on in them bathhouses. I ain't gotta give you a perfect image of what's going on with that. But yeah, the silent generation was on the so-called DL back then. You know, that's what the word swag came from. They say.
Oh yeah, I heard the term and then the meaning behind it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. See, they silent for a reason. They don't. This is the generation that came up with the phrase "Do as I say, not as I do." While they was being some of the biggest hypocrites that you'll ever think of. Oh yeah, yeah. See, the greatest generations, you know what I'm saying, spoiled the boomers, and the silent generation kind of corrupted the boomers. Yeah, because you gotta understand, a lot of silent generation of dudes was perverts. Elvis Presley and Jerry Lee Lewis. Anybody?
Oh yeah, Elvis Presley definitely.
They silent generation.
mean, the whole what's that little girl's name back then? She was the big actress, Shirley Temple.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They
Yep.
showed videos of her that they was doing it in the movies back then. It was nothing.
Yeah. She was a silent generation actress. That's right. That's right.
That's why when y'all was talking to that dude last time on his joint, man, he was bringing up the past times like that and using that as a way to justify his claims, man.
You talking about your lot? Yeah. That did take a damn dog turn. I mean, again, content is content. Controversy sells. That's what Shauna told me, and Suge told her that.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. Let's finish this up real quick.
It's very interesting that the GI generation that, won World War II and came home from the war turned out to become, after that event, a very super masculine generation in midlife, with very wide distinctions between male and female roles in the families of the 1950s. Certainly much more so than anyone remembers them being in the 20s and 30s. Be interesting to see whether or not millennials might follow that same evolution of actually experiencing a little bit more division between gender roles as they grow older, certainly more than you're seeing today.
All that to say that we're the problem, huh? We're the problem because we haven't had an opportunity to actually use what we was taught to do almost 2 decades ago.
Yeah, you mentioned the GI generation, but they had that war. And I think that's the one thing with millennials is, besides the Iraq 2000 war, man, is the game has changed, bro. You got drones now. You got different types of ways to get at people, man.
Yeah. So that's another thing that we have in common with millennials have in common with the the lost generation and the World War II generation. Up until World War II, World War II was probably one of the most deadliest versions of modern warfare because a lot of things have been implemented, like the tank. What else? All them things, and then by the time World War II came, man, we had the atomic bomb. Now, shit, we got drones. Even possibly we got lasers, atomic biological warfare.
Yep.
Influence.
You know what I mean?
Man will get so weak and wise he'll destroy himself, and man, you ain't gotta tell me twice. We and the so-called weak men will destroy our what's the name cells. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's go and take a little bit more on our generation. Our generation is really messed up. You know what I'm saying? They saying we coddled, entitled, narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? Lazy, but ironically, who's mainly working right now in this so-called workforce market? Who? I'll wait. Who? Is it millennials and some parts of Gen Z that want to work, that can? These people make me sick.
But like I said, man, like you got JD Vance right now. He's a millennial. So like the game is starting to change just a little bit for millennial men.
Yeah, Gen X is gonna become president before that, you know what I'm saying? I believe in JD Vance, but I believe that Gen X is really gonna come into office. Then it's gonna be a millennial. Probably will be JD Vance. Let me go bring this bring this to the screen real quick. I thought I did already. Let's go. Let's go.
Time now for the Sunday Talk, where we tap into the debate of the week. This week, not Trump, not Islamophobia. Instead, we visit that old chestnut. Are millennials spoiled babies? The accusation this time came in a video that has gone viral. It's a battle between generations, and we're going to have it here tonight.
Entitled and narcissistic, self-interested, unfocused, lazy.
As the stereotype goes, if you were born in the 80s or 90s, you may not be prepared for the real world.
Perhaps because they got so much praise growing up and they got a trophy just for showing up.
Millennials accused of being addicted to social media.
If you're sitting at dinner with your friends and you're texting somebody who's not there, that's a problem.
Demanding an unrealistic work-life balance.
If I'm able to do my salsa dancing in the evening time, that's a way to recharge myself. So in the morning, afternoon time, I'm able to sit on the computer and work.
They're called snowflakes, unable to hear opposing views. These Berkeley students rioted when a speaker with far-right views stepped foot on campus. But others argue that sensitivity is really passion. Millennials drove many of the protests against Donald Trump.
Don't take this as a defeat. Just take this as motivation to work harder.
They're said
With snowflakes, really?
They're talking about one side of the coin. You know what I mean? Because there's some snowflake millennials, bro. It's like
yeah, I seen them. I work with them, and I have to remind them. I say I can't stand you, you motherfucker. I can't. I'll never. Just like I can't stand working for a boomer boss. I can't do it. When we get in charge, like, yeah, I might be self-employed. I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. Let's continue.
Millennials drove many of the protests against Donald Trump.
Don't take this as a defeat. Just take this as motivation to work harder.
To work hard at what? Yeah, y'all won't be like the boomers now. You know what I'm saying? We talked all that stuff about boomers, but we trying to lead Gen Alpha down to the same situation. Tell them to vote blue no matter who. Despite the fact we grew up all under blue, what's the name, and we complain about said blue circumstances that we're going through now. But we want to continue the Trump because that's all we know, bro. Let me go. Let me go finish.
They're said to be less materialistic.
They want to spend more on experiences.
Less material. What? Have they seen the millennial woman?
They focus on the snowflakes, man. They focus on the snowflakes. They don't be buying no stuff. They, the emo ones. They don't be taking no showers. But then they're like, yeah, that's all millennials right there. Like, go watch Pop the Balloon.
Oh Lord. Millennial, man, some millennials and Gen Zers, man. Yeah, man, the millennials on there, man, they be the most vocal, trying to roast my. I'm like, man, y'all do know y'all middle aged technically, but y'all old women biologically.
Than they do on physical goods.
They're battling a tough job market.
I was literally doing 2 free internships, one from 9 to 5, then going from 5 to 9.
And social media? Well, one new study shows that if you're between 34 and 49, you spend a bit more time on social media than millennials. I'm joined by our panelists tonight, one millennial, one on the cusp, and one definitely not. Hadia Rodrigue is an employment lawyer and journalist. Adrian Batra is editor-in-chief of the Toronto Sun. And Elamine Abdelmahmoud is social media editor at BuzzFeed Canada. So as our honorary millennial, Elamine, we'll let you in just a second. But I'm going to start with... the
one who's not on the cusp.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what you are. You're Gen Xer, maybe.
I guess so. Born in 73. So where does that put me?
Probably Gen X.
Gen X.
Well, that's the me generation.
Yeah,
Gen X. Yeah, 1973. Yeah, Gen X.
There you go.
So let's make it all about them. What do you think of millennials? Coddled, entitled?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
I do. I that is my experience with many of them, and perhaps present company excluded from that.
Yeah,
but
be
I think that there is. You know, we love to hate on them, and it's become a pastime. You know, there's dinner time conversations about how much we despise millennials. There's lengthy articles written about this now. It's almost like they're the kid that we want to pick on the schoolyard for a whole host of reasons. But I will give them this. I don't.
And what y'all did, that's another thing about Gen Xers I forgot to highlight too. They were some bullies to us older millennials, and which now I feel as bad as some of them are ages kicking their ass and they ain't took good care of themselves since they want to go ahead smoke chronic and drink 40 ounces of Hennessy all damn day.
Yeah, it looks like she's been smoking some bud back in the day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And drinking 40 ounces all day, every day. You remember the commercials? You remember the movies?
Yeah, the flavors ain't eyes, bro.
Yeah. OE St. Ives, man, they were drinking that Mad Dog 2020, that Hennessy that was mixing it with it, called it Thug Passion. Yeah, Gen Xers, now y'all the main ones dropping like flies now in the 2020s. I mean, us millennials are too. I mean, let's not forget. I hate to say it, both Gen X and millennials did start lean culture. Yeah, we made lean into a big monster for real. So yeah, a lot of millennials are dropping like flies too, which is crazy. Oh shit! Wait till Cool Kamasi come back up. But how's everyone tonight? Is still in the chat, cloud watching too. Hope y'all enjoying the show. You know what I'm saying? Couple donations can go ahead and hit the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Hit the PayPal. If you're having a good time, there you go. Stream y'all don't like
the Cash App, Mr.O. You heard? Scrolling across the screen. Matter of fact, let me hit you up real quick with the Cash App, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Oh, 70.
Appreciate it. And as he's doing that, it's just that crazy that when we try to work hard and everything, they trying to say that we're coddled. And I'll be trying to tell people, like, I'm not your typical millennial. I don't complain about work. I love working. But the thing is, though, you ain't going to play me on my money. See, all that work-life balance bullshit sound good to I got to do other people's work. And that's what Gen X try to do, along with some older millennials too. They be trying to go ahead and make other people do their work. Nope, they learned that from the boomers, and that's why the work force is what it is now. Yeah. All right, I'm back. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? Now we gotta do some studio business. Shout out to the Cool Kamasi for the $7 on the cash. Let me go and get you rolling real quick with the with the cash drop real quick. Let me go ahead. Which one is
Appreciate it, my dude.
No problem. I'm gonna hit you with the
Hey, fuck me like you want me. Put them thongs back.
Yep, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and you know what I'm saying, throw some more titties on that. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We like the jugs, you know what I'm saying? We do like breastfeeding over here. We like jugs over here. You know what I'm saying? We do. But let's continue with this video.
I think it's all their fault. I think that there are a number of reasons why they got to the point in which they did. But I would only say to many of them, get over it and move on and toughen up and don't run.
Get over it. Wait, what? Hold on. And this is my creep with the damn Gen X. They complain about all the things they had to go through. Chick, I probably will never get a chance to own a fucking house. Probably never go ahead and be jumpstarting my career like you probably is. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna look forward to being a boss probably in my 50s. No, man. Again, this is how I feel when Gen X be trying to talk they shit to me now. And I'll be like, man, y'all in the way too. You and the boomers, man. Hold on.
Nothing's personal. What the fuck is life if it's not personal?
Thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
I'm sorry about that, cool. I'm sorry.
Word. Go ahead, man. Talk your shit, bro.
I'm sorry about that. But man, they be having me like that, man. They be having me like that. Yeah, y'all, what y'all pop? Yeah, I know y'all cool. Y'all the cool kids on the block. Y'all cynicism, y'all pessimism. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, y'all knew what y'all was talking about, and everything's transpired. But don't gloat about it, motherfucker. Damn. Assholes.
Your safe space every time someone says something you disagree with.
So you're coddled, Elamine.
Apparently so. Listen, there was an Abacus poll, I think it was a few months ago, that came out that said half.
So why they get the Rainbow Mafia tether to represent us?
They always got to get a mook, man. They stay got to get a mook, and they got to be a diverse mook.
Man, with a tether, man, with the look at that tether headline, man.
Wearing a blazer with a shirt. Fat mom too.
That's how they dress in Canada. You see what it says, but I don't even think BuzzFeed is even in business no more. So they probably out of the job too. So let's go.
The baby boomers think that millennials have it tougher than any other young generation. Even the boomers agree that we have it tough. And we do because we graduated during a time just post-recession. Our real wages have never been lower. Our wages are going down. People are doing 2 internships. We're existing in a world that is just not helping us out at all.
I'll let you back in.
Period. I gotta work 3 times as harder to earn 3 times as less as a man from 3 generations before me.
That's the crazy part, bro. That's a fact. They never talk about that, man.
Remember, like I said earlier in the stream about that gold standard. See, the wages, you know what I'm saying, the minimum wage was supposed to be for the even the poorest man in your society to even make it. So the dollar at the time was basically 4 silver quarters. That was real silver. That made the economic dollar until they removed it from the gold standard. Do you know how much before 1964? Do you know how much a silver quarter from 1964 is worth now?
That'll be a good $1,000.
Oh no, it ain't that high. It's just 4 quarters. The 4 quarters that equals $1 in so-called monetary money that we're supposed to use as Americans to determine the wealth of this country. 4 silver quarters from 1964, I believe it's worth $39. Them 4 quarters. That's supposed to be the hourly wage as opposed to kept up with inflation up until modern day. So right now, technically, minimum wage, bare minimum is supposed to be $39, close to 40.
That's what like people in tech industry trying to make is $40 an hour, man. You can imagine making like $40 an hour.
You know what's so crazy? Not even iron workers back in the 1980s was barely making $40 an hour.
Yeah. That's doctor wages back then.
Yep. But yet they want $40 an hour to be McDonald's workers and Walmart workers. Bring in the robots. Like, how dare y'all not want to go ahead and continue this college scam of college to corporate plantation work life. That's another hustle right there too. The college scale, the college scale. Remember, I said before about the boomers before 1989 with no credit score, they could get a whole house and a whole shebang. They whole college education in total probably cost them only $25,000 for all 4 years with the degree. That same Western they could barely pay for a full semester at one of these underperforming college institutions here in America. Ain't that crazy?
So that's crazy, bro. It's the mousetrap, man. Get stuck there, you get out, but then there's another one waiting for you.
Oh yeah, it gets better. They tell you that they need you to have is a bachelor's required, master's preferred for entry data for entry level data entry person, a job that even a sophomore in high school can do.
And then the crazy part is, man, think about this. Millennials, we the two generations that have the resume. We the first ones that the resume, you gotta create a resume. AKA, an essay about your work life.
Oh yeah. Oh well, Gen X had to go through the resume process too. The thing is though, so the thing about Gen X versus millennials is the interviews. See, Gen X, they only had to go through one interview. Millennials, we gotta go through 3. Gen X had network. We got recruiters.
That's true. Gotta go to one of these websites. If you're there for a job, monster.com or Career Builder, Indeed, LinkedIn, all these joints.
Yep, created by Gen Xers because they didn't want to go through the resume process or go through the so-called bachelor's required, master's preferred. HR was created by the boomers, because there was a government sanctioned job. We ain't even talk about the boomers getting all these so-called fake jobs created for them, you know what I'm saying, like social workers and all that other bullshit.
That's fact.
Head Start, all these early development teachers. So y'all convince boomer women to not start families. Go ahead and get education, early childhood education, to be teachers to other people's kids instead of their own. Lord forbid that. Did we even touch it on the with boomer and Gen X women buying to the so-called frozen egg trap?
Yep.
Yeah, Yeah, it was the 80s. They told the boomer women and the Gen X women that was coming in right behind them to take their jobs.
I'm like me. I'm probably stuck behind. But these about to say something about Gen X and millennial women. I mean boomers. Boomers. My bad.
Now, yeah, boom. The millennial women gonna be on part of the catastrophe too, because there's 3 generation women that was lied to about egg freezing.
Oh yeah.
First with the boomer women, the test tube baby. The Gen X women, they thought they was gonna be in the clear with all these sperm banks, and they thought it was gonna get the egg freeze and all that good stuff until and millennial women too until now. See, the unfortunate part, especially if you're a black millennial woman that sipped that Kool-Aid, you found out that you got slim pickings if it comes down to black sperm if you want a black male child or baby in general, because a lot of black men don't go to sperm banks.
Just to get that for free.
Exactly. And you can go ahead and get your swirl on, but a lot of y'all don't want to go to the sperm bank because if you go to the sperm bank, that means you got to take care of that kid all on your own with no child support. So a lot of black women ain't trying to sign up for that. Not a lot, but there's some ones that will, because the Ebony K. Williams of the world, a millennial.
That's the one Obsidian you talking about, right?
Yep. Ebony K. Williams, the one that said the bus driver, if he could own a bus company. Now a single mother.
But where do you stand on this, Idia?
Well, I have trouble painting an entire generation with the same swath and the same brush. I can tell you, for example, both of my sisters are millennials. My boyfriend is a millennial, and they're quite different. And most of the millennials I know are hustling because precarious work is on the rise. They have to work multiple jobs. They barely sleep. They're using social media less. They see the bleak economic future, and it's hard not to ask for things like vacation time and work-life balance when you're not getting the other things that you've been promised by working hard and trying.
Here's where I would say, on picking up on what Elamine is saying with respect to the job market and seeing a potentially challenging economic future. I do hold former generations responsible for that. There's an extraordinary inequity when it comes to the debt burden we've put on them and the amount of taxes they're going to have to pay and the market that has been created.
So then what's your problem?
But with all of that said, every other generation has faced many, many, many problems, many other challenges, some in case war in some cases. And so if you are put in this position, then work your way out of it. Don't
work your way out of it. Just keep on bootstrapping, bro, your way out of it. How Karen? I know a lot of Gen X women are Karens. You know what I'm saying? She just low key just try to give us props, but just also just said like, well, just work harder. Bitch, I've been working hard since 2001 when I was 15 years old.
It's only the women that are arguing with each other, man. And the mook. They brought the women and the mook to argue about generations. The dudes, we know what's up. Besides the boomer dudes, we know what's up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. You got love. This is the best time. This is the best and worst time to be alive. You gotta have both. You know what I'm saying? This is the best time to be alive, though, man. I'm loving this shit.
Don't blame everybody else, and don't want to have everything thrown at you. And you need these so-called work-life balance. Like, I'm sorry, yeah, working 2 jobs, that's a reality. That happens. You have to pay for these sorts of things. You pay your dues.
Really rich,
that's the reality.
We've heard this before, but listen, baby boomers didn't have it difficult. They came out. They found jobs in factories with high school education. They stuck to them for 30 years. And then after that, they got to retire. That's really nice for them, but we don't have that experience. We don't
You
have.
don't think that there was economic struggle? They don't think that that was a generation that actually had to
never
do
generalize and say
things
that.
and
But we don't have access to the job market in ways that no generations before us have ever had.
I think millennials have huge problems. There's issues with depression. There's all sorts of, the social media isn't helping. There's no question about that. But I think that it's just, they need to stop
They
complaining.
keep moving the goalposts on us, and then we keep saying we're tired of running, and they're like, "Oh, get over it and keep running." I don't think it's unfair.
You teach millennials, Adia. What is your sense? Is life harder for them than the generation before?
What it is, they're graduating with huge debt, and there are no jobs for them to pay off that debt. So when I went to law school 12 years ago, law school tuition was $16,000. The generation before me paid $2,000 or $3,000.
See, right there, right there. Hey, Free Zone Lou, you want to come up real quick? Let me know.
Yeah. So this is a panel, bro. Definitely, yeah.
Go ahead. Throw the link in the chat. Yeah, I threw a link in the chat. That's only for Free Zone Lou. Bring your ass up here. Yeah, I guess I could Chicago the panel tonight because I am the panel. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? She heard what she said. The generation before her, that means the one that she's speaking to right across from the table was able to go to law school way cheaper than she did.
Yep. Also, living was cheaper too.
The link's right there in the chat, Free Zone. And Free Zone said that means it's a failure to adapt to the market because the market has changed. We are no longer in the analog days. We are now in the digital, basically wild, wild west. Gone are the days, you know what I'm saying, we could just go to one of the warehouse jobs like they like the gentleman has said on this panel. The Boom was able to go to one of these warehouse jobs where it be Procter & Gamble, John Deere, or something like that. He even had to have a college degree. He was able to. He even had to have a high school diploma in some cases. All you had to do was just show up, clock in, do the work, and go home. You don't even have that luxury or anything like that no more. Yeah, I'm waiting for Luke to come up.
Yeah. But I do think that a lot of millennials do sometimes focus too much on the past, but it's mainly the chicks. They want what the boomer chicks wanted. Man, you can set that in a war like it's about to blow up.
You know, that's a funny thing. All right, so I believe the only woman that really truly yeah, my bad. I really believe I was looking at my emails trying to see if Machismo TV had sent me what's the name. But I believe the woman that had it actually good was a solid generation of women. And they had their faults too, bro. Don't get twisted. Don't get ain't never ever been a good woman in this so-called country. So whatever the so-called there you go. Mic check. What's up, Free Zone Lou? Gotta mute yourself.
What's happening, fellas?
Oh, no,
am I clear?
Oh, you loud clear, man. Well, welcome to the whole thing.
To the old block.
Yeah, hey, said the old block. Nah, I ain't from old block. I mean, old block is old block, not the old block. I'm from Dogtown, you know what I'm saying? But they the guys, though. They the guys, though. You know what I'm saying? But we're in the old zone and now we playing things up around here. You know what I'm saying? We stay a little X-rated sometimes. See a chick over there in the corner twerking and everything. But we were trying to keep it real tonight and everything. We was discussing all the generations in America leading up to what we have the problems now. And we said that history repeats itself. Each generation has their own problems. What generation probably did the most damage and what's to come and everything. We don't know what's to come right now. We are the millennials. Gen X is in charge. You know, they the majority of CEOs and elbow pushers and everything now in the 2020s now. A lot of the boomers are finally stepping down or dying off. But what's going to happen going forward? You know what I'm saying? And we have these Gen X's now that want to posturize and everything like we told you so and it's our turn, you know what I'm saying? And we trying to tell them Gen X's like, yeah, we get it and everything, y'all was right and all that good stuff, but hey, y'all do know that y'all probably don't got a short time on the top and y'all it's gonna be shorter than leprechauns. I don't know if it ain't gonna be a marathon. I'm gonna be hopping off in a few ticks, and you know what I'm saying. Probably like around. We probably gonna be doing a run about another 45, probably another 30. You know what I'm saying. We won't probably break down probably one more video real quickly, but let's finish this one real quick.
Well, I will say this, bro, because you know how I give it up. I'm not a victim type dude. But if we're talking cause and effect, I do agree. It started with the boomers. They put the wheels in motion, and then it further exacerbated from there until, you know, we are where we are today. That being said, it is incumbent upon us, and I would say us as millennials, but more importantly, us as parents, to teach the younger people how to actually adapt to this market, at least until like laws and stuff fix all that stuff, which I don't think that's really going to happen. I think they're just going to keep kicking the can down the road. So since we can't do anything about said kick can in the immediate, right, what we can do is we can understand, you know, work smarter, not harder. You know, have a couple streams of income that at least come in, even if you're not making millions on them, you can have more than one stream that you're not dependent on. You know, doing things like that. Because I mean, we could blame the boomers all day. I'm throwing party with you, blame, you know, boomer blame, but I'm not finna just sit because the boomers fucked up. You know what I mean? Like we still gotta, time still goes on. That being said, I ain't listening to boomers because they're like out of touch with everything that's kind of going on nowadays. Like we're in a technologically advanced time where you can make money from the confines of your home, and you don't even have to clock in at a job. So I think that younger people need to lean more into the future because that's where we're going.
Oh yeah, because the way the boomers are running things, and they've been running things for like what, the last 30 some years, 30, 40 some years. Yeah. The generation that said anti-establishment, F the man is the man, and they trying to say F everybody. Damn. Yeah. Let's finish with this particular video though.
And so now they pay 32. Wow. And they're not getting a different education than I did 12 years ago than the generation did before. And there are fewer jobs. Like, for example, on Bay Street, in my year, we hired 19 people at my firm. And then when the market crashed, they hired 10. The law schools are still letting in the same number of people, in fact, sometimes more. Mm-hmm. And so where are they supposed to go?
But what about this idea of, like, the idea of a helicopter parent? is not a new idea. That instead of having, there's a lot of only child families, and so there's more attention for the kids. Has there been what some are calling a failed parenting strategy in terms of too much encouragement? You're very special, and here's your medal for coming in last.
I've been a millennial all my life, and I never
got a medal.
Never got a single participation medal the whole time because I don't think those existed.
Oh, they definitely existed, bro. Yeah, we had some participation trophies. Unfortunately, I have to agree. But some of us then some of us millennials had to get out the mud. Like real talk. We was born impoverished and born in messed up situations. You know what I'm saying? Not just me, but other people I knew had some messed up circumstances, especially on the south side and west sides of Chicago. Damn it, I just Chicago the parent, but y'all catch my drift. It was going on in different cities and towns too. I passed the mic. Go ahead.
Now, here's the thing. He's getting a participation trophy right now. He's on the TV for no reason other than being a millennial.
Damn.
Yeah, that nigga DEI as fuck.
Oh yeah, he covered all basically, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Tesla probably part of Rainbow Mafia and doing a good cosplayer trying to be down for the cause, I guess.
Nasty work, bro. Nasty work.
Clue Studios said, bro, too much self-esteem is bad. Being special needs to be earned, period. Michael Jordan wasn't born special. He had to earn. You damn right. Another Chicago legend. You know what I'm saying? You damn right.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Have you got a participation medal?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Lou. My bad.
No, I'm in lockstep with that. Like, I mean, I think at heart I am a bootstrap bro, because at the reality of it is for a lot of people, you're not going to be able to make it unless you pull yourself. Like, realistically speaking, the alternative would be to be sitting around waiting for bootstraps. And to me, honestly, I like where I'm at with it. The technology that we have, this technology that allows us to talk to each other from all over the world, that's a universal bootstrap, if you ask me. And even a broke nigga got a phone. I know niggas I know niggas that have less money than me with doper phones than me. So phones, tablets, all that shit, bro. So if you can't put that shit to work and find some way to make some shit shake in a world where everybody can communicate with everybody, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, I don't know what you're waiting on. Because if you're waiting for bureaucracy to catch up, you're gonna be waiting a long time. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a practical. It is what it is. We could worry about. I mean, we all know why it is what it is. Now we got to deal with what it is, and the people who cause it ain't finna. They don't have a vested interest in fixing it. So fuck them.
Oh no.
We do what we do. You know what I mean? And time moves forward, and that's how it's gonna be. And the other thing too is that it is a repeated thing. The boomers are they kind of have their foot on it, moving into who's after the boomers, Gen X.
Gen X's.
Okay, so all of this fight the power, resist the system, all that shit. When you younger, yeah, that shit sounds dope when you younger, and then when you get older, and the baton is in your hands, what are you gonna do? That's what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna hold on to it. And it's that repeated process has shown itself throughout history. And I spend a lot of time. I think the reason why a lot of these conversations are so funny to me is because people speak of these instances, this time, like it's a rare time in history that's never happened. When, quite frankly, if you look back in history throughout various societies, this is a natural repeated process that happens. That's why you have the first turning, the second turning, the third turning, the fourth turning. These revolutions happen in societies, especially as they get bigger and better. Ancient Rome, anybody? Ancient Greece. anybody. You know what I'm saying? So as a society gets bigger, these things naturally happen. And so it's not at all shocking. The only difference really is that we have technology that shows us everything at a nauseating level at this point. It's information overload. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the biggest difference. But as far as the processes and everything else that happens, it's all the same to me.
What was the last empire that fell within our lifetime? Was it the Afghan or Iraq Empire, something like that, or the Ottomans, something like that? Empire.
The last empire that fell, you would have to be more. What do you mean in our time? I'm not
I think
exactly.
like the Ottoman Empire, because that's what basically had ended World War One. Basically, it was the Ottoman Empire. It was like one of the last like long standing empires that fell. I'm just going by timelines. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, empires coming in the times of revolution, technology advances. A lot of former empires collapses within that time span too. That's what I was going with.
Okay, if I had to guess, not even just kind of freestyling, I would say the Soviet Union.
Oh yeah, ooh yeah.
Yeah, I would say the Soviet Union. Once that Berlin fell, what was that, 80, 88, 89, I believe. Once that happened, it was a wrap, bro. We ain't really had like an empire on that level since. I would say that we're the empire, but I believe our fall is coming a lot sooner than people think. You know what I mean? But
oh yeah,
I would go with Russia.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, though, we roll so quickly. I mean, but to be a country of only age of almost 250 years, yeah, we did a lot of advancements over the stages of this country. But now, as quickly as we rose, yeah,
We'll fall. It was a good run, man. It was a good run. It was a good experience. I'm sorry. It was a good experiment. It was a good
yes,
experiment. But like I don't really trip out about it, and I understand that these things aren't going to be rolled back because as part of the experiment from the inception, these things were built into the ethos of the country. Like when your country is built on individuality and you've gotten to a place where everybody is at least free to move autonomously, I don't see too much of that rolling back. Now, what I will see, what I can expect to see is like what we're seeing now, where you have less government intervention in the everyday lives of American people. I can see that happening, but it won't be to the degree that they're like completely rolling back feminism or any of that kind of shit. Like I don't keep those hopes. I just accept what is. But I do think that some shit will be rolled back as far as laws and everything like that. But I don't think it's gonna roll us back to like the 60s or the 40s or the 20s. I don't think that shit gonna happen. I think we'll just have another variation of what we saw back then. Because even if these chicks get right, they've already been exposed to Pandora's box that is feminism and female choices and autonomy. They've already been exposed to that.
Let's go ahead and segue. Let's go ahead and leave this particular video.
I think this might be something that class-based and race-based. I hear this a lot about white middle-class families, but I can tell you, as someone who grew up as a working-class Black immigrant parents, I was told I had to work twice as hard to get what everyone else got, and I was not coddled in any way. I wanted to take finite creative writing in high school. My dad made me take night school so that I could take that. Wow. I had to.
So you went and got Rose's degree in creative writing, really? Oh my God! Is a national even a thing? I know BuzzFeed went out of business, but is the national still a thing? Yeah, this is what you get. Yeah, this is what college young gets you right here. Yeah. And she went to law school and she could be a lawyer.
Yeah. The only hope that these types of people have, these humanities people, is really at this point you better hope something pop up on social media. Like you, the only hope that these types of people have is to become like a social media celebrity type person, because outside of that, you don't really have any skills to bring to the quote to the marketplace like that. They're not looking to hire, those kinds of people. So I mean, maybe you get a news job, maybe you build a social media channel, you get nice little super chats and cash apps and shit like that. Outside of that, better hope on government goodies or find a good nigga. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and stop saying. Let's go and see what these other millennial women is about to be doing. One y'all got echo in the background.
Oh shit.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Let me go ahead and go to this. Speaking of millennial women, let's see what else is going on with their asses.
If you guys have anyone on your social media like I do that's over the age of 40, you've probably seen them post at some point about how much our generation sucks. Well, as a millennial, I took it upon myself to try to evaluate what's so wrong with our generation and why they're so mad at us. And then I pretty much realized that we're just existing. We're not really contributing anything to society. Our generation doesn't have the basic manners that include no ma'am and yes ma'am. We don't even hold the door open for ladies, much less our elders anymore. We listen to really obscene music that degrades women and pretty much glorifies drugs and crime. We start to cuss now to prove a point. We use words like bae to describe someone we love. And we idolize people like Kim Kardashian, and then we shame people like Tim Tebow. We're lazy, we're really entitled, and we want to make a lot of money and have free education, but we're not really willing to put in the work. We spend more time online making friends and less time actually building relationships. And our relationships appearance on Facebook is more valuable than the foundation that it's actually built on. Our idea of standing up for something we believe in means going on Facebook and posting a status with your opinion. And we believe the number of followers we have reflects who we are as a person. We don't respect our elders. We don't even respect our country. We're stepping on our flag instead of stepping up to volunteer. And we mock the men and women that are fighting for us, but we praise the people that are fighting each other, guys. We're more divided as a country than ever before. And I think our generation actually has a lot to do with that. Everything that used to be frowned upon is now celebrated. Nothing has value in our generation because we take advantage of everything. We have more opportunities to succeed than any of those before us, yet we don't appreciate the opportunities we have now. Now I guess I see why people call us Generation Y. Like, why are we so entitled? Because we don't deserve to be, and we were raised better than this. I think that our generation, I always wonder what we're going to be remembered by. And I, for one, want to break that stereotype and prove that my parents raised me better. Don't you? To all of our elders, I'm sorry. And I do know that we were raised better. Thank you from this millennial for putting up with those and those who do not see wrong in their actions. I hope we start pulling our pants up and actually contributing to the society we love. And maybe make a difference in 2016 so that we can make a difference in the future.
I wonder who she was directly talking about.
That was interesting.
Very, very. Shout out to Cool Kamasi. He sent me this beautiful video of young Becky from I guess now 9 years ago. I wonder what her story is. Almost 9 years late. She basically was very descriptive. I mean, I can't say she was halfway wrong. I mean, I wish I had that Stephen A. Joint on my. I gotta get that. That's on my to-do list. Remind me, get Stephen A. Smith over here. But unfortunately, I do have this one, and Miss Becky.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. Your thoughts ain't my thoughts. Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
Yeah.
That's about right.
I do have that one. And you know what? I usually say this one for the B-Dub, but I think Becky could get this one too.
You're hairier than a motherfucker, too. Your personality ain't much to speak of either. Your cooking ain't shit. You ain't clean worth a damn. Nasty bitch. But I need somebody around here that's gonna wash the shit stains out in my drawers. So I guess you'll do.
Yeah, I guess she'll do. I mean, I am Mr. Bro, you know what I'm saying? That's Mr. Ruckus, you know what I'm saying? I mean, cartoon counterpart, but yeah. Let's go ahead and stop Sharon Becky, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead to bring her down. Speaking of millennial women, we all say that they possibly, besides the boomers and Gen Xers before them, they are the worst women in the country. I had the unfortunate pleasure of dating and mess around with millennial women. Actually, I had the unfortunate pleasure to mess with all 4 generations of women. And yes, I did mess with a boomer. I was a sick fuck. Don't judge me. I do judge. Fuck it, y'all can judge me. Fuck it, yeah. I mess with a boomer, a Gen X, a whole bunch of millennials, and these Gen Zers. Even though I mess with them, they annoy me. And I don't pay chick. Yeah. But I don't want to pay chicks to annoy me. I don't want to go ahead and create bad habits amongst the up and coming grown people that sets bad character. So I've been trying to break them from that habit of paying them when they being annoying and giving them attention and stuff like that. As soon as you start doing that goofy stuff, you start seeing my presence is less. But let's look at one of these group therapy session panels on YouTube. I think this is Mr. Daniels, or no, this is Lapeef. This is Lapeef, the original group therapy session panel. He said once before, Pearl says millennials are the worst generation of women ever. Let's take a listen. Fair use, fair use.
They mentioned in the video, like guys are not opening the door anymore, you know, all these type of different issues that people are getting away from. So in that way, do you think men are soft?
No. I think their ability to be aware of things is not going to make them soft. It's just going to make them more aware and more empathetic. If you talk to the children now, they're picking up a lot of toxic things. Don't get me wrong. But the way that we are raising our children now, it makes them make you care about them, but it also makes them care about other people. So I think that them caring about other people as well as themselves, it just makes them see things equally and equitably.
What? How you pronounce her name, first of all? I seen this shit before, but what Bahome? What? Gentlemen, help me out. How you pronounce that chick name? Bohemian what?
Bohemian Noir.
I was gonna say chick with the yellow dreads.
Yeah. They've been promoting this chick a little bit too much on my feed, a little bit too. Clue. Thank you, Clue. And shout out to the International Choir Storm. First of all, this is an American Douchebag Productions. You know what I'm saying? LLC. Clue said Pearl had some gems on that episode. Oh shit. The Bo chick says a whole lot of nothing. Thanks for the heads up. So this Bo chick, we about to hear a whole bunch of bull crap from her, huh? Cool. I hope she don't drive me crazy. You send me this. All right. If I go a little off hinge and stop blurring out stuff, I'm gonna blame you.
I'll take the blame, G.
And you got this all right, so you got this Darwin character right here. I don't know, he's the bald Kevin Samuels now, okay, and we got this Dr. Lady, oh shit, and we got Pearl, fake ass Pearl. All right, oh my god, Nick Fuentes, Pearl. What they got in common?
What they got in common?
Now, they both from your side of town, right?
Man, they from Chicago.
Ah.
My city, man. My city, man. Let's play.
So what's the point of having a man and a woman, right? We're two opposites. We're opposite. So if we're all the same, I'm just asking a question because this is real. If we're all the same, then how does that make life?
We are equal in a lot of ways. We are different in a lot of ways. These children are able to see our differences and our likenesses. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said equality and equity. That I speak on both. So yes, we are different, but we are also the same in a lot of ways.
Bo, I wanted to go a little deeper into what you stated when you said the kids nowadays will be better adults, you think, than the ones in the past, right? But we see on the news every day, statistics are going up that kids are dying earlier, whether they're killing each other, right? Killing themselves. They don't keep jobs, right? They don't feel a need to be committed to anything because they feel that they all should just be at the top from the beginning, which is why I made the comment on the participation award, right? Because nobody understands the whole logic around some people lose and some people win. Everybody can't be number one. So in what ways do you see the children nowadays progressing further than generations in the past?
I got a bad feeling she gonna say something so egregious. I got a feeling she about to say something so dumb. But I knew I recognized this chick, y'all. I knew I did. And please forgive me, but like the International Quiet Storm has already told y'all, this is American Douchebag Production. So hold on. Oh shit, that downloading. Yeah, still downloading. Every time she talks, I gotta put this overlay on it. But I'm gonna let it continue.
These children do not let people punk them, and them not being committed to something. It depends on your perspective. What they are not committed to is people misusing and abusing them. We took whatever we could get. We listened to our boss no matter what. They could be talking to us crazy. They can make us do a lot of things for just a little bit of money, and we did them and we didn't say anything because we were taught to respect authority. What they are taught to respect is how they feel about things and the fact that they're not going to do a whole lot of work for just a little bit of money, and they shouldn't. They should be fighting for, no, they should not. They should be fighting for them to pay them a fair wage for the work that they do. We worked hard for some pennies, and we were okay with that when we were younger. They use them for their labor, and these children are not letting them do that. And I respect them for that because we should have spoken up for that as well.
I can't even lie. I got you agree with that. I thought she was gonna say something real stupid. You know what I'm saying? But she still look like Jar Jar Binks though. That's where I remember her from. She looked like Jar Jar. Yeah, y'all know who Jar Jar Binks. Hold on, man.
It's about Star Wars.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Georgia. Let me stop, man. Let me stop.
We were taught to work extra hard to get their promotion or to get a raise, and you never did, but you just gave them all of that labor for absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
So these children are different in that way. Now, do I agree with some of what you said? Absolutely. Like they have a sense of entitlement. They absolutely do. And I don't think that they should, but I think that they are a lot stronger than we were. We were taught to settle, we were taught to work hard for nothing.
That's understandable, but my whole thing is, and I get it, right? Because us growing up watching my mother work a job for all these years, you know, people got laid off, you could lose at any time. That gave us a mindset that I'm not going to commit myself to just one job. Like I get a job, I'm not going to stay there. I can bounce around, right? But where else in life that I'm going to not do this because it doesn't satisfy me at the moment? Instead of putting the work in to move up or move to different companies, I'm just going to skip that altogether and try to go right to the top. Like where else in life does that apply? And that's kind of where I'm confused and where I feel these children are confused. It's
Everybody's confused because we don't know what's to come. Like for real though, like we got all this talks about and showing of AI taking away, you know what I'm saying, the warehouse job, factory jobs, and now they're coming for the corporate sector, man. These are some strange times that we are witnessing. What say y'all?
I think it's great though. I think it's great because
Yeah.
I mean, for those opportunities that go away, there's gonna be new ones coming up. Like in Virginia, they got I think Amazon got the servers out there, so those open new jobs for people, you know. But they probably got to move to different places. You probably can't stay at the same place like you used to be. Probably got to move around.
Go ahead, Free.
That's a fact, bro. You got to learn the skills of the future and move around. I mean, that's really it. I mean, and again, not uncommon throughout history. How many places how many places are there that were once like thriving gold rush towns or oil boom towns or the coal rush towns that are just a ghost of themselves now? You know what I'm saying? There's always a next, yeah, bro. There's always a next wave, and so it is incumbent upon people to get ahead of it. And yeah, a lot of people ain't gonna make it.
Hey, that's what the survival of the fittest. What else they used to say? Like, man, the ones that are deserve to be here, self-preservation, all that good stuff. Yeah, it's gonna show you who's supposed to survive this new frontier. Like you said, the gold rush,
Yeah.
people like the West, you know what I'm saying, set up in little settlements. Ironically, prostitution actually made them towns thrive during the old West, but nobody want to bring that up. I bring that to the OnlyFans
That's
generation now.
facts. That's facts. Yeah, that's
We in
facts, man.
the new frontier, man, and the possibilities of fake going into space now. Yeah, and
Yeah, because the ones that are dreading it are the ones that are not preparing for it. We all finna be out of jobs. It's like you probably will if you don't adapt another skill set, which for a lot of people is not too late to do.
oh yeah, for some it is. I mean, a lot of people don't like. You got some Gen X and millennials that don't know how to work the internet as well, and you be like, how?
Like, yeah, that's insane.
Like I know
That's
some.
insane.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? People don't know how to use a search engine, and a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these I'm talking about, you know, you mess with the AI stuff, like, yeah, I'm learning it now. So before we try to be taught in universities, and you gotta go ahead and pay to learn how to do it stuff, I'm about to go ahead and jump right on it.
Yep. AI, crypto, tech, like tech is
Ooh,
the future. It's the
we ain't
future.
even touched crypto. We ain't even talked about crypto.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like but that's the future. Now where it gets sticky, where the issues lie is that just because you know tech, like you have to know certain types of tech that AI can't fully cover. Either that, or if you're not going to do tech, and especially for the men, they could revert back to blue collar jobs. Blue collar jobs? I'm sorry, trades. Because trades are going to be booming again. AI can't fuck with that. Like I don't see a situation for a very long time, where you have a something like the draining in your AC is out, and they're sending out AI to fix it. Like that's not happening. I don't see that happening for a very long time.
Very, very long time. So what
And
you
they
saying?
make bread too.
Yeah.
Them trades is making bread right now.
Iron workers, you know what I'm saying, one of the most dangerous professions, still getting paid, but even now they deserve a little bit more money, especially ones that got work and maintain the outdoors because of the so-called climate change and all the so-called climate factors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah. A real job.
absolutely.
That's the real job. Well, we can go ahead and I gotta go ahead and get ready to do Machismo TV real quick. I just got the little email real quick, so I'm about to go ahead and start shutting this down. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Mr. I appreciate you letting me on today, man.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
always
appreciate you throwing the link out, man. This is good conversation, man. Good conversation.
Yep. Thank
Absolutely.
y'all. Thank y'all for helping me switch up on a little bit of the content. I always wanted to touch down this I always talked about the generations on my channel. Y'all can go back on my catalog, but I never had a good solid episode to actually break down each generation, some of their successes, majority of their follies, and see how each generation impacted, whether it be negative or positive, each generation to come. So my final thought tonight on what's to come is, man, I have a big fear that Gen Alpha is going to be the new boomers. That's one of my biggest fears. They're going to blame us millennials for all the catastrophes and mayhem and all that good stuff. And I don't know what they're going to be doing in the next years, in the years 2040 and 2060, while I become an old man. Because if we know anything about history, the boomers, we grew up under the boomers, and yeah, their legacy, even the silent generation, again, I would never ever let them get off scot free. They the ones that raised the boomers, so they the real problem. They the ones that caused it because they said do as I say, now as I do, and they got away with a whole bunch of shit. But I pass it.
Yeah, I think regardless of what happens, I think the millennials' time is next, and they're going to incur the same type of blame from those below them. And I think honestly, I think the millennials are probably going to play dumb just like the boomers did.
Oh, you know we are.
Yeah, they're going to do it. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be interesting. I think millennial women are going to get most of the slack because they fucked a lot of shit up.
Oh yeah.
They absolutely did. you know, but time moves forward. That's one thing we know for sure. Time gonna keep moving. So, hey, shout out to you, man. I'll drop off. Y'all take it easy, man. Peace.
All right.
Take it easy, B.
Peace out, free.
Yeah. Now all I'm gonna say is, man, for each generation, heavy is the head that wears the crown, man.
Ooh,
Like
more
for
of my
the
favorite
millennials
quotes.
will be next. So you know, like you said, they will have a crown, so it'll be a heavy crown to wear, man. But you gotta wear it. You gotta roll with it. Take the punches as they come. You come with the good stuff too, because you know, just for
Yep.
as much smack we gave the boomers, you know, they was getting praise too from other people. So
I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, they did come out with some good movies and some good music back in the. So if y'all want to call it good music, you know, that rock shit, you know what I'm saying? They had a lot of directors came from the boomer generation and everything. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Gen X, but boomers had some good run. A lot of good actors came from out there, so I could say there was a good artist generation. But other than that. Nah. And to the boomer and millennial women alike, I'm gonna hit y'all with that stack again.
Y'all niggas gonna pay for this shit. Locking this pimping in the closet.
Man, y'all gonna pay
yeah, I
for this.
appreciate you letting me on, G. I'm gonna stop over, bro.
All right. Yeah, we about to go over to Machismo TV and go ahead and do this panel real quick. And I gotta try and find me something to eat. And my stomach to my back like an Ethiopian. Mine's the flies around me.
Yeah, man. Take it easy, bro. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for helping me switch the content up this week. You know what I'm saying? Doing something different. We still gonna get on to these Simpsons, these 304s though. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna touch down with some hip hop topics too. Hip hop Unlocked is back. Also, I might have to go and bring my series back up. Sex, Freedom, Money, and Zod. I'll be forgetting to do that. Of course, we're gonna be talking. Let me show you Chicago. Finally, we're gonna keep on going back to that series, and we just gonna keep on coming out with some more material, trying to build this channel up, help the brother reach 1,000. Continue watching my shorts, my videos with live streams, especially the ones in Canada. Thank y'all, the ones in Canada, across in Britain, of course in America. You know what I'm saying? Then my analytics that showed me. Thank y'all for being supportive to the channel. With that out the way, again, before y'all go, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to choose to donate, you can sock it to my pocket at Cash App, $MISTERO070. And you can hit my email if you want to go ahead and support the content.
Don't you want your donuts right? Oh, hey, did you ever fuck with me, boy? Do you know me now? I'm a bad man. All right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I'm about to go ahead and shut this down, but yo, come right back to the channel or just go straight to Machismo TV, where we're gonna ahead break down weekly topics on subjects from a masculine perspective. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the creator Machismo TV. Shout out to Salty Balls. Shout out to Hardcore Tito. You know what I'm saying? I think we getting back into the sports portion of the season too. So shout out to Hoop Jogging, wherever you are. You know what I'm saying? It's the real ones taking over the Machismo space. You know what I'm saying? Machismo sphere. We back, baby. You know what I'm saying? So come right back. But it's Mr. O with the info, giving what you need to know. But you ain't here for me though. And again, thank Cool Kamasi for the $7 on the Cash App and supporting the channel. I'm gone, y'all. Peace. Mr. O with the info.